Immortal is a fanfiction posted to fanfiction.net in February of 2006, exactly 17 years ago to this February 2023. It's an icon of internet history, easily the most well-known bad fanfiction of all time. Nobody knows who wrote it, whether it was a genius piece of satire or meant in earnest. I have 2 videos on the subject, one on everything we know about the real author of My Immortal, and one on various conspiracies and authorship claims which have emerged over the years. I also have a video where I recreated some of Ebony's outfits, went to the grocery store with 666 on my ass and red lace, etc. So you could say that My Immortal is near and dear to my heart, and I am honored to read it for you in its entirety today, all 44 chapters, over 22,000 words. I also want to say 2 thank yous, the first one being to Sabretooth Leather. He saw my Immortal outfits video and reached out to me to see if I wanted some pieces from his store for this video. He makes handmade real leather punk gear. It's super good quality, so it'll last you literally forever. These are the 3 pieces that I got, and I am in love with all of them. Another person who reached out to help with this video was Lacroix Grimoire, who runs a store for all kinds of fun, witchy, and alternative stuff. He sent me a hand-bound hard copy of My Immortal, which is so awesome because, you know, astigmatism gang. I hate reading off of screens for too long, so in this video I will be reading from this lovely book instead. Also, I own a hand-bound hard copy of My Immortal, like that's amazing! I also wanted to let you know that I have created some 1 million subscriber My Immortal special commemorative stickers. I make and ship all of these myself, so they're a little bit janky, but they're made with love. I think I'm only gonna make like 200 or 300 of these, so 100 or 150 of each design. So get them while you can, because they're gonna be gone forever after that. And if you like fun stickers, you can also consider supporting me over on Patreon. You can get even more custom stickers. I'm not selling them anywhere, so Patreon is the only way to get them. Nobody has ordered the Galaxy Print Tumblr Girl one yet, which I'm very upset about, so someone needs to change that. For just $2 a month, you can access the Patreon exclusive channels of my Discord server. I do live streams answering your questions, playing Jackbox games, and just generally hanging out every single week. For $5, you get access to the server, as well as your name in all of my video credits, and for $10, you get all of the above and 2 exclusive stickers. Links to everything I just mentioned will, of course, be in the description below. And the final thing, before we jump in to the reading of My Immortal, is our sponsor, Babbel. Babbel is one of the top language learning apps in the world. Its lessons are designed by real language teachers and scientifically proven to help you start speaking a new language in 3 weeks. Lessons are structured to help teach real-life conversations, and there are so many reasons that you might want to learn a new language. Traveling and exploring new cultures is obviously one, but also maybe you want to connect better with your own family and culture, further your career, or maybe you just want the personal challenge. If I'm planning a big trip in the future, I will definitely be pulling out Babbel a few weeks before to try and get some basic vocabulary in the language. However, for now, I'm using it for something a little bit closer to home. I'm using it to brush up on my French, one of the official languages of my home country of Canada. My parents are from Montreal. They speak French. My entire family speaks French, but can I speak French? No. I recall this one French class when I was in school where I was having some kind of a verbal test, and the teacher asked me what color a Christmas tree is, and I said blue. She was trying to be nice to me. She was like, "Are you sure? Are you certain?" I realized my mistake, but I fully doubled down. I was like, "Yep, blue. My Christmas tree's blue. I don't know about yours." My French teacher at the time was friends with my parents, and for Christmas that year, she gave them a blue ornament to match our blue Christmas tree, and my mom was like, "Girl, what the heck are you talking about?" I am a Canadian, and yet I have always been a complete menace to the French language. But perhaps I think Babbel can finally help change that. So far, I absolutely love how practical and how structured around conversation the lessons are. So remember to go check out Babbel. You can use my link in the description below to get 60% off your subscription. And if you have like an interesting or funny reason for wanting to learn a language, make sure you let me know in the comments. And now, we begin. Chapter 1. Author's note. Special thanks, get it, 'cause I'm gothic, to my GF, ew, not in that way, Raven, Bloody Tears 666 for helping me with the story and spelling. You rock. Justin, you're the love of my depressing life. You rock too. MCR rocks. My name is Ebony Darkness Dementia Ravenway, and I have long black ebony hair, that's how I got my name, with purple streaks and red tips that reaches my mid-back, and icy blue eyes like limpid tears, and a lot of people tell me I look like Amy Lee. Author's note, if you don't know who she is, then get the hell out of here. I'm not related to Gerard Way, but I wish I was because he's a major fucking hottie. I'm a vampire, but my teeth are straight and white. I have pale white skin. I am also a witch, and I go to a magic school called Hogwarts in England, where I'm in the 7th year. I'm 17. I'm a goth, in case you can't tell, and I wear mostly black. I love Hot Topic, and I buy all of my clothes from there. For example, today I was wearing a black corset with matching lace around it, and a black leather miniskirt, pink fishnets, and black combat boots. I was wearing black lipstick, white foundation, black eyeliner, and red eyeshadow. I was walking outside of Hogwarts. It was snowing and raining, so there was no sun, which I was very happy about. A lot of preps stared at me. I put up my middle finger at them. "Hey, Ebony!" shouted a voice. I looked up. It was Draco Malfoy. "What's up, Draco?" I asked. "Nothing," he said shyly. But then I heard my friends call me, and I had to go away. Author's note, is it good? Please tell me, Fangs. Chapter 2. Author's note, Fangs to Bloody Tears 666 for helping me with the chapter. By the way, prep stop flamin' my story, okay? The next day, I woke up in my bedroom. It was snowing and raining again. I opened the door to my coffin and drank some blood from a bottle I had. My coffin was black ebony, and inside it was a hot pink velvet with black lace on the ends. I got out of my coffin and took off my giant MCR t-shirt, which I used for pajamas. Instead, I put on a black leather dress, a pentagram necklace, combat boots, and black fishnets. I put on 4 pairs of earrings in my pierced ears and put my hair in a kind of messy bun. My friend Willow, author's note, Raven, this is you, woke up and then grinned at me. She flipped her long, waist-length, raven black hair with pink streaks and opened her forest green eyes. She put on her Marilyn Manson t-shirt with a black mini, fishnets, and pointed high-heeled boots. We put on our makeup, black lipstick, white foundation, and black eyeliner. OMFG, I saw you talking to Draco Malfoy yesterday, she said excitedly. Yeah, so, I said, blushing. Do you like Draco? She asked, as we went out of the Slytherin common room and into the Great Hall. No, I so fucking don't, I shouted. Yeah, right, she exclaimed. Just then, Draco walked up to me. Hi, he said. Hi, I replied flirtily. Guess what, he said. What, I asked. Well, Good Charlotte are having a concert in Hogsmeade, he told me. Oh my fucking god, I screamed. I love Good Charlotte. They are my favorite band besides MCR. Well, do you want to go with me, he asked. I gasped. Chapter 3, author's note, stop flamming the story preps, okay? Otherwise, thanks to the Gothic people for the good reviews. Thanks again, Raven. Oh yeah, by the way, I don't own this or the lyrics for Good Charlotte. On the night of the concert, I put on my black lace-up boots with high heels. Underneath them were ripped red fishnets. Then I put on a black leather mini dress with all of this corset stuff on the back and front. I put on matching fishnets on my arms. I straightened my hair and made it look all spiky. I felt a little depressed then, so I slit one of my wrists. I read a depressing book while I waited for it to stop bleeding and listened to some Good Charlotte. I painted my nails black and put on tons of black eyeliner. Then I put on some black lipstick. I didn't put on foundation because I was pale anyway. I drank some human blood, so I was ready to go to the concert. I went outside. Draco was waiting there in front of his flying car. He was wearing a Simple Plan t-shirt. They would play at the show too. Baggy black skater pants, black nail polish, and a little eyeliner. Author's note, lots of cool boys wear it, okay? Hi, Draco, I said in a depressed voice. Hi, Ebony, he said back. We walked into his flying black Mercedes-Benz. The license plate said 666 and flew off to the place with the concert. On the way, we listened excitedly to Good Charlotte and Marilyn Manson. We both smoked cigarettes and drugs. When we got there, we both hopped out of the car. We went to the mosh pit at the front of the stage and jumped up and down as we listened to Good Charlotte. You come in cold, you're covered in blood. They're all so happy you've arrived. The doctor cuts your cord, hands you to your mom. She sets you free into this life, sang Joel. I don't own the lyrics to the song. Joel is so fucking hot, I said to Draco, pointing at him as he sung, filling the club with his amazing voice. Suddenly, Draco looked sad. What's wrong? I asked, as we moshed to the music. Then I caught on. Hey, it's okay. I don't like him better than you, I said. Really? Asked Draco sensitively, and he put his arm around me all protective. Really? I said. Besides, I don't even know Joel, and he's going out with Hilary fucking Duff. I fucking hate that little bitch, I said disgustedly, thinking of her ugly blonde face. The night went on really well, and I had a great time. So did Draco. After the concert, we drank some beer and asked Benji and Joel for their autographs and photographs with them. We got Good Charlotte concert tees, Draco and I crawled back into the Mercedes-Benz, but Draco didn't go back to Hogwarts. Instead, he drove the car into the Forbidden Forest. Chapter 4, author's note, I said stop flamin', okay? Ebony's name is Inobi, not Mary Sue, okay? Draco is so in love with her that he is acting different. They knew each other before, okay? Draco, I shouted, what the fuck do you think you're doing? Draco didn't answer, but he stopped the flying car and he walked out of it. I walked out of it too, curiously. What the fucking hell? I asked angrily. Ebony, he asked. What? I snapped. Draco leaned in extra close and I looked into his gothic red eyes. He was wearing color contacts, which revealed so much depressing sorrow and evilness. And then suddenly, I didn't feel mad anymore. And then, suddenly, just as Draco kissed me passionately, Draco climbed on top of me and we started to make out keenly against a tree. He took off my top and I took off his clothes. I even took off my bra. Then he put his thingy into my you-know-what and we did it for the first time. Oh, I screamed. I was beginning to get an orgasm. We started to kiss everywhere and my pale body became all warm. And then, what the hell are you doing, you motherfuckers? It was Dumbledore. Chapter 5, author's note, stop flaming. If you flam it means you're a prep or a poser. The only reason Dumbledore swore is because he had a headache, okay? And on top of that, he was mad at them for having sex. P.S. I'm not updating until I get 5 good reviews. Dumbledore made Draco and I follow him. He kept shouting at us angrily. You ludicrous fools! He shouted. I started to cry tears of blood down my pallid face. Draco comforted me. We went back to the castle. Dumbledore took us to Professor Snape and Professor McGonagall, who were both looking very angry. They were having sexual intercourse in the Forbidden Forest, he yelled in a furious voice. Why did you do such a thing, you mediocre dunces? Asked Professor McGonagall. How dare you? Demanded Professor Snape. And then Draco shrieked, because I love her! Everyone was quiet. Dumbledore and Professor McGonagall still looked mad, but Professor Snape said, fine, very well. You may go up to your rooms. Draco and I went upstairs while the teachers glared at us. Are you okay, Boney? Draco asked me gently. Yeah, I guess, I lied. I went to the girls' dorm and brushed my teeth and my hair and changed into a low-cut, black, floor-length dress with red lace all around it and black high heels. When I came out, Draco was standing in front of the bathroom and he started to sing I Just Want to Live by Good Charlotte. I was so flattered, even though he wasn't supposed to be there. We hugged and kissed. After that we said goodnight, and he reluctantly went back into his room. Chapter 6, author's note, shit up preps, okay? P.S. I would not update until you give me good reviews. The next day, I woke up in my coffin. I put on a black miniskirt that was all ripped around the end, and a matching top with red skulls all over it, and high-heeled boots that were black. I put on 2 pairs of skull earrings and 2 crosses in my ears. I spray-painted my hair with purple. In the Great Hall, I ate some Count Chocula cereal with blood instead of milk, and a glass of red blood. Suddenly, someone bumped into me. All the blood spilled all over my top. Bastard, I shouted angrily. I regretted saying it when I looked up, because I was looking into the pale white face of a gothic boy with spiky black hair with red streaks in it. He was wearing so much black eyeliner that was going down his face, and he was wearing black lipstick. He didn't have glasses anymore, and now he was wearing red contact lenses just like Draco's, and there was no scar on his forehead anymore. He had a manly stubble on his chin. He had a sexy English accent. He looked exactly like Joel Madden. He was so sexy that my body went all hot when I saw him, kind of like an erection, only I'm a girl, so I don't get one, you sicko. I'm so sorry, he said in a shy voice. That's all right, what's your name? I questioned. My name's Harry Potter, although most people call me Vampire these days, he grumbled. Why? I exclaimed. Because I love the taste of human blood, he giggled. Well, I'm a vampire, I confessed. Really? He whimpered. Yeah, I roared. We sat down to talk for a while. Then Draco came up behind me and told me he had a surprise for me, so I went away with him. Chapter 7, Bring Me to Life. Author's note. Well, okay, you guys, I'm only writing this because I got 5 good reviews. And by the way, I won't write the next chapter till I get 10 good reviews. Stos flamin' or I'll report you. Ebony isn't a Mary Sue, okay? She isn't perfect. She's a Satanist, and she has problems. She's depressed, for God's sake. Draco and I held our pale white hands with black nail polish as we went upstairs. I was wearing red Satanist things on my nails in red nail polish. Author's note, does that sound like a Mary Sue to you? I waved to Vampire. Dark misery was in his depressed eyes. I guess he was jealous of me that I was going out with Draco. Anyway, I went upstairs excitedly with Draco. We went into his room and locked the door. Then we started Frenching passively. And we took off each other's clothes enthusiastically. He felt me up before I took off my top. Then I took off my black leather bra and he took off his pants. We went on the bed and started making out naked. And then he put his boy thingy in mine. And we had sex. See, is that stupid? Oh, Draco, I screamed while getting an orgasm when all of a sudden I saw a tattoo I had never seen before on Draco's arm. It was a black heart with an arrow through it. On it in bloody Gothic writing were the words, vampire. I was so angry. You bastard, I shouted angrily, jumping out of the bed. No, but you don't understand, Draco pleaded, but I knew too much. No, you fucking idiot, I shouted. You know what, this didn't age well. I put on my clothes all huffily and then stomped out. Draco ran out even though he was naked. He had a really big you-know-what, but I was too mad to care. I stomped out and did so until I was in Vampire's classroom where he was having a lesson with Professor Snape and some other people. Vampire Potter, you motherfucker, I yelled. Chapter 8. Author's note, stop flassing, okay? If you do, then you're a prep. Everyone in the class stared at me, and then Draco came into the room even though he was naked and started begging me to take him back. Ebony, it's not what you think, Draco screamed sadly. My friend Bloody Mary Smith smiled at me understandingly. She flipped her long, waist-length Gothic black hair and opened her crimson eyes like blood that she was wearing contact lenses on. She had pale white skin that she was wearing white makeup on. Hermione was kidnapped when she was born. Her real parents are vampires, and one of them is a witch, but Voldemort killed her mother, and her father committed suicide because he was depressed about it. She still has nightmares about it, and she's very haunted and depressed. It also turned out that her real last name is Smith, not Granger. Since she has converted to Satanism, she is in Slytherin now, not Gryffindor. What is it that you desire, you ridiculous dimwit? Snape demanded, angrily in his cold voice, but I ignored him. Vampire, I can't believe you cheated on me with Draco, I shouted at him. Everyone gasped. I don't know why Ebony was so mad at— I think this is Draco talking now. I don't know why Ebony was so mad at me. I had went out with Vampire, I'm bi and so is Ebony, for a while, but then he broke my heart. He dumped me because he liked Brittany, a stupid preppy fucker. We were just good friends now. He had gone through horrible problems, and now he was Gothic. Haha, like I would hang out with a prep. But I'm not going out with Draco anymore, said Vampire. Yeah, fucking right. Fuck off, you bastard, I screamed and ran out of the room and into the Forbidden Forest, where I had lost my virginity to Draco. And then I started to burst into tears. Chapter 9. Author's note, stop flamming, okay? I didn't read the books. This is from the movie, okay? So it's not my fault if Dumbledore swears. Besides, I said he had a headache, and the reason Snap doesn't like Harry now is because he's a Christian and Vampire's a Satanist. MCR rocks. I was so mad and sad, I couldn't believe Draco for cheating on me. I began to cry against the tree where I did it with Draco. Then all of a sudden, an horrible man with red eyes and no nose and everything started flying towards me on a broomstick. He didn't have a nose, basically like Voldemort in the movie. And he was wearing all black, but it was obvious he wasn't Gothic. It was Voldemort! No, I shouted in a scared voice, but then Voldemort shouted, Imperious! And I couldn't run away. Crookshanks! I shouted at him. Voldemort fell off his broom and started to scream. I felt bad for him, even though I'm a sadist, so I stopped. Ebony, he yelled, thou must kill Vampire Potter. I thought about Vampire and his sexa eyes and his Gothic black hair and how his face looks just like Joel Madden. I remembered that Draco had said I didn't understand, so I thought, what if Draco went out with Vampire before I went out with him and they broke up? No, Voldemort, I shouted back. Voldemort gave me a gun. No, please, I begged. Thou must, he yelled. If thou doesn't, then I shall kill thy beloved Draco. How did you know? I asked in a surprised way. Voldemort got a dude, you're so R-word look on his face. I hath telekinesis, he answered cruelly, and if you doth not kill Vampire, then thou know what will happen to Draco, he shouted. Then he flew away angrily on his broomstick. I was so scared and mad, I didn't know what to do. Suddenly Draco came into the woods. Draco, I said. Hi. Hi, he said back, but his face was all sad. He was wearing white foundation and messy eyeliner, kind of like a pentagram. Get it between Joel Madden and Gerard Way? I don't get it. Are you okay? I asked. No, he answered. I'm sorry I got all mad at you, but I thought you cheated on me, I expelled. That's okay, he said, all depressed, and we went back into Hogwarts, together, making out. Chapter 10, author's note. Stup it, you gay F-slurs. If you don't like my story, then fuck off. P.S. It turns out Bloody Mary isn't a muggle after all, and she's a vampire or evil. That's why they moved houses, okay? I was really scared about Voldemort all day. I was even upset, went to rehearsals with my gothic metal band, Bloody Gothic Rose 666. I am the lead singer of it, and I play guitar. People say that we sound like a cross between Good Charlotte, Slipknot, and MCR. The other people in the band are Bloody Mary, Vampire, Draco, Ron, although we call him Diablo now. He has black hair with blue streaks in it, and Hagrid. Only today Draco and Vampire were depressed, so they weren't coming, and we wrote songs instead. I knew Draco was probably slitting his wrists. He wouldn't die because he was a vampire too, and the only way you can kill a vampire is with a CROSS. There's no way I'm writing that. Or a stake. And Vampire was probably watching a depressing movie like The Corpse Bride. I put on a black leather skirt and showed off my boots and tiny matching miniskirt that said Simple Plan on the butt. You might think I'm a slut, but I'm really not. We were singing a cover of Helena, and at the end of the song, I suddenly bust into tears. Ebony, are you okay? Bloody Mary asked in a concerned voice. What the fuck do you think? I asked angrily, and then I said, well, Voldemort came, and the fucking bastard told me to kill Harry, but I don't want to kill him, because he's really nice, even though he did go out with Draco. But if I don't kill Harry, then Voldemort will fucking kill Draco. I burst into tears. Suddenly, Draco jumped out from behind a wall. Why didn't you fucking tell me? He shouted. How could you fucking poser muggle bitch? See, is that out of character? I started to cry and cry. Draco started to cry too, all sensitive. Then he ran out crying. We practiced for 1 more hour, then suddenly Dumbledore walked in angrily. His eyes were all fiery, and I knew this time it wasn't because he had a headache. What have you done? He started to cry, wisely. See, that's basically not swearing, and this time he was really upset, and you will see why. Ebony, Draco has been found in his room. He committed suicide by slitting his wrists. Chapter 11. Author's note, I said stup flamin' you preps. See, if this chapter is stupid, it deals with really serious issues. See for yourself. If it's stupid, by the way, thanks to my friend Raven for helping me. No, I screamed. I was horrified. Bloody Mary tried to comfort me, but I told her to fuck off, and I ran to my room crying myself. Dumbledore chased after me, shouting, but he had to stop when I went into my room because he would look like a perv that way. Anyway, I started crying tears of blood, and then I slit both my wrists. They got all over my clothes, so I took them off and jumped into the bath angrily while I put on Linkin Park song at full volume. I grabbed a stake and almost stuck it in my heart to commit suicide. I was so fucking depressed. I got out of the bathtub and put on a low-cut black dress with lace all over it, sadly. I put on black high heels with pink metal stuff on the ends and 6 pairs of skull earrings. I couldn't fucking believe it. Then I looked out the window and screamed. Snape was spying on me, and he was taking a videotape of me, and Lupin was masticating to it. He was chewing? He was chewing to it? They were sitting on their broomsticks. Ew, you fucking perv, stop looking at me naked. Are you pedos or what? I screamed, putting on a black towel with a picture of Marilyn Manson on it. Suddenly, Vampire ran in. Abracadabra, he yelled at Snape and Lupin, pointing his womb. I took my gun and shot Snape and Lupin a gazillion times, and they both started screaming, and the camera broke. Suddenly, Dumbledore ran in. Ebony, it has been revealed that someone has... No! He shouted, looking at Snape and Lupin, and then he waved his wand, and suddenly, Hagrid ran outside on his broom and said, Everyone, we need to talk. What do you know, Hagrid? You're just a little Hogwarts student. I may be a Hogwarts student. Hagrid paused angrily, but I am also a Satanist. This cannot be, Snape said in a crisp voice as blood dripped from his hand where Dumbledore's wand had shot him. There must be other factors. You don't have any, I yelled madly. What is this conversation? Lupin held up the camera triumphantly. The lens may be ruined, but the tape is still there. I felt faint. More than I normally do, like how it feels when you do not drink enough blood. Why are you doing this? Lupin said angrily while he rubbed his dirty hands on his cloak. Then I heard the words that I had heard before, but not from him. I did not know whether to feel shocked or happy or to bite him and drink his blood because I felt faint. Because Hagrid said, and he paused in the air dramatically, waving his wand around. Then swooped in, he singing to the tune of a gothic version of a song by 50 Cent. Because you're gothic, Snap asked in a little afraid voice. Because he was afraid it meant he was connected with Satan? Because I love her! Chapter 12, author's note, stop flaming, okay? Hagrid is a pedo too. A lot of people in American schools are like that. I wanted to address the issue. How do you know Snap isn't a Christian? Plus, Hagrid isn't really in love with Ebony. That was Cedric, okay? I was about to slit my wrists with the silver knife that Draco had given me in case anything happened to him. He had told me to use it valiantly against an enemy, but I knew that we must both go together. No, I thought, it was Hagrid, but it was Vampire. He started to scream, OMFG no, my scar hurts. And then his eyes rolled up, you could only see red whites. I stopped. How did you know? I saw it, and my scar turned back into the lightning bolt. No, I ran up closer. I thought you didn't have a scar anymore, I shouted. I do, but Diablo changed it into a pentagram for me, and I always cover it up with foundation, he said back. Anyway, my scar hurt, and it turned back into the lightning bolt. Save me! Then I had a vision of what was happening to Draco. Voldemort has him in bondage! Anyway, I was in the school nurse's office now recovering from my slit wrists. Snap and Lupin and Hagrid were there too. They were going to St. Mango's after they recovered because they were pedophiles and you can't have those fucking pervs teaching in a school with lots of hot girls. Dumbledore had constipated the studio camera they took of me naked. I put up my middle finger at them. Anyway, Hagrid came into my hospital bed, holding a bouquet of pink roses. Enobi, I need to tell you something, he said in a very serious voice, giving me the roses. Fuck off, I told him. You know I fucking hate the color pink anyway, and I don't like fucked up preps like you, I snapped. Hagrid had been mean to me before going gothic. No, Enobi, Hagrid said. Those are not roses. What? What are they goths to you, poser prep? I asked because I was angry that he had brought me pink roses. I saved your life, he yelled angrily. No, you didn't, I replied. You saved me from getting a Paris Hilton pee video made from your shower scene and being viewed by Snap and Lupin, who masturbated. See, is that spelled wrong? Whatever, I yelled angrily. He pointed his wand at the pink roses. These aren't roses. He suddenly looked at them with an evil look in his eye and muttered, well, if you wanted honesty, that's all you had to say. That's not a spell, that's an MCR song, I corrected him wisely. I know, I was just warming up my vocal cords. Then he screamed, Petulus Marengo mi cremishli romacio. For all you cool gothic MCR fans out there, that's a tribute specifically for Raven. I love you, girl. I'm not okay. And then the roses turned into a huge black flame floating in the middle of the air, and it was black. Now I knew he wasn't a prep. Okay, I believe you now. Where the fuck is Draco? Hagrid rolled his eyes. I looked into the balls of flame, but I could see nothing. You see, Enobi? Dumbledore said, watching the two of us watching the flame, to see what is in the flames. Haha, reviewers flames, get it? You must find yourself first, okay? I have found myself, okay, you mean old man? Hagrid yelled. Dumbledore looked shocked. I guess he didn't have a headache, or else he would have said something back. Hagrid stormed off back to his bed. You are a liar, Professor Dumbledore! Anyway, when I got better, I went upstairs and put on a black leather mini dress that was all ripped at the ends with lace on it. There was some corset stuff on the front. Then I put on black fishnets and black high-heeled boots with pictures of Billy Joel Armstrong on them. I put my hair all around me so I looked like Samara from The Ring. If you don't know who she is, you're a prep, so fuck off. And I put on blood red lipstick, black eyeliner, and black lip gloss. You look kawaii, girl, Bloody Mary said. Fangs, get it? You do too, I said sadly, but I was still upset. I slit both of my wrists, feeling totally depressed, and I sucked all of the blood. I cried again in my bathroom and put the shades so Snap and Lupin couldn't spy on me this time. I went to some classes. Vampire was in the hair of magic creatures. He looked all depressed because Draco had disappeared and he had used it to be in love with Draco. He was sucking some blood from a Hufflepuff. Hi, he said in a depressed way. Hi back, I said, in an equally sad way. We both looked at each other for some time. Harry had beautiful red gothic eyes, so much like Draco's. Then we jumped on each other and started screwing each other. Stop it now, you horny simpletons! Shouted Professor McGoggle, who was watching us, and so was everyone else. Vampire, you fucker, I said, slapping him. Stop trying to screw me. You know I loved Draco. I shouted, and then I ran away angrily. He just started to scream, OMFG, no, my scar hurts. And then his eyes rolled up. You could only see his red whites. No, I ran up closer. I thought you didn't have a scar anymore, I shouted. I do, but Diablo changed it into a pentagram for me, and I always cover it up with foundation, he said back. Anyway, my scar hurt, and then I had a vision of what was happening to Draco. Voldemort has him in bondage. Special thanks to Raven, my gothic blood sister. What the fuck? You're supposed to read this. Hey Raven, do you know where my sweater? Chapter 13, author's note, Raven, thanks for helping me again. I'm sorry I took your poster of Gerard, but that guy is such a fucking sex bomb. Preps, stop flaming. Vampire and I ran up the stairs looking for Dumbledore. We were so scared. Dumbledore, Dumbledore, we both yelled. Dumbledore came there. What is it that you want now, you despicable snobs? He asked angrily. Voldemort has Draco, we shouted at the same time. He laughed in an evil voice. No, don't. We need to save Draco, we begged. No, he said meanly. I don't give a darn what Voldemort does to Draco. Not after how much he misbehaved in school, especially with you, Ebony, he said, while he frowned looking at me. Besides, I never liked him that much anyway. Then he walked away. Vampire started crying. My Draco, he moaned. Author's note, don't you fake gay guys are like so hot? It's okay, I tried to tell him, but that didn't stop him. He started to cry tears of blood. Then he had a brainstorm. I had an idea, he exclaimed. What? I asked. You'll see, he said. He took out his wand and did a spell. Then, suddenly, we were in Voldemort's lair. We ran in with our wands out, just as we heard a croon voice say, Alacadabra! It was Voldemort! Chapter 14. Author's note, fuck off, preps, okay? Raven, thanks for helping me again. I'm sorry I couldn't update, but I was depressed. And I had to go to the hospital, because I slipped my wrists. P.S. I'm not updating till you give me 10 good reviews. Warning, some of this chapter is extremely scary. Viewer discretion advised. We ran to where Voldemort was. It turned out that Voldemort wasn't there. Instead, the fat guy who killed Cedric was. Draco was there crying, tears of blood. Snaketail was torturing him. Vampire and I ran in front of Snaketail. Rid my sight, you despicable preps! He shouted as we started shooting him with the gun. Then suddenly he looked at me and fell down with a lovey-dovey look in his eyes. Ebony, I love you. Will you have sex with me? He said. In this, he is 16 years old, so he's not a pedophile, okay? Huh? I asked. Enobi, I love you. Will you have sex with me? Asked Snaketail. I started laughing crudely. What the fuck? You torture my boyfriend and then you expect me to fuck you? God, you are so fucked up, you fucking bastard, I said angrily. Then I stabbed him in the heart. Blood poured out of it like a fountain. No, he screamed. He started screaming and running around. Then he fell down and died. I burst into tears. Sadly, Snaketail, what art thou doing? Called Voldemort. Then he started coming. We could hear his high heels clacking to us. So we got on our broomsticks and we flew to Hogwarts. We went to my room. Vampire went away. There, I started crying. What's wrong, honey? Asked Draco, taking off his clothes so we could screw. He had a sex pack. Get it? Because he's so sexy and a really huge you-know-what and everything. It's so unfair. I yielded. Why can't I just be ugly and plain like all the other girls and preps here, except for Bloody Mary because she's not ugly or anything? Why would you want to be ugly? I don't like the preps anyway. They're such fucking sluts, answered Draco. Yeah, but everyone is in love with me. Like Snape and Lupin took a video of me naked. Hagrid says he's in love with me. Vampire likes me now. Even Snaketail is in love with me. I just want to be with you, Draco. Why couldn't Satan have made me less beautiful? beautiful, I shouted angrily. Author's note, don't worry, Enobi isn't a snob or anything, but a lot of people have told her she's pretty. I'm good at too many things. Why can't I just be normal? It's a fucking curse, I shouted and then ran away. Chapter 15. Author's note, stop flaming, okay? By the way, you suck. From now on, every time someone flames me, I'm gonna slit my wrists. Thanks to Raven for helping. Ebony, shouted Draco sadly. No, please, come back. But I was too mad. Whatever. Now you can go and have sex with Vampire, I shouted. I stormed into my room and closed my black door with my blood red key. It had a picture of Marilyn Manson on it. He looked so sexy in a way that reminded me of Draco and Vampire. I started to cry and weep. I took a razor and started to slit my wrists. I drank the blood, all depressed. Then I looked at my black Good Charlotte watch and noticed it was time to go to biology class. I put on a short ripped black gothic dress that said anarchy on the front in blood red letters and was ripped, and a spiky belt. Under that, I put on some ripped black fishnets and boots that said Joel all over them with blood red letters. I put my ebony black hair out. Anyway, I went downstairs feeling all sad and depressed as usual. I did some advanced biology work. I was turning a bloody red pentagram into a black guitar. Suddenly, the guitar turned into Draco. Enobi, I love you, he shouted sadly. I do not care what those fucker preps and posers think. You're the most beautiful girl in the world. Before I met you, I used to want to commit suicide all the time. Now I just want to fucking be with you. I fucking love you. Then he started to sing The Chronicles of Life and Death. We considered it our song now because we fell in love when Joel was singing it, right in front of our entire class. His singing voice was so amazing and gothic and sexy, like a cross between Gerard, Joel, Chester, Pierre, and Marilyn Manson. Author's note, if you don't think those guys are so hot, if you don't know who they are, then get the fuck out of here. OMFG, I said after he was finished. Some fucking preps stared at us, but I just stuck up my middle fingers that were covered with black nail polish and were entwined with Draco's now at them. I love you, I said, and then we started to kiss, just like Hilary Duff, I fucking hate that bitch, and CMM in a Cinderella story. Then we went away holding hands. Lupin shouted at us, but he stopped because everyone was clapping by how sexy we looked together. Then I saw a poster saying that MCR would have a concert in Hogsmeade right then. We looked at each other, all shocked, and then we went together. Chapter 16. Author's note, you know what? Shut up, okay? Prove to me you're not preps. Raven, you suck, you fucking bick. Give me back the fucking sweater. You're supposed to write this. Raven, what the fuck, you bitch? You're supposed to do this. By the way, thanks to Brittany5655 for teaching me Japanese. We ran happily to Hogsmeade. There we saw the stage where Good Charlotte had played. We ran in happily. MCR were there playing Helena. I was so fucking happy. Gerard looked even sexier than he did in the pictures. Even Draco thought so. I could totally see him getting an erection, but it didn't matter because I knew now that we were the only true ones for each other. I was wearing a black leather mini dress and black leather platinum boots with red ripped fishnets. Draco was wearing a baggy black MCR t-shirt and black baggy pants. Anyway, we started moshing to Helena. We Frenched. We ran up to the front of the band stage. Suddenly Gerard pulled off his mask. So did the others. We gasped! It wasn't them at all. It was Voldemort and the Death Dealers. What the fuck, Draco? I'm not going to a concert with you, I shouted angrily. Not after what happened to me last time. Even if it's MCR and you know how much I like them. What, cause we, he gadgeted uncomfortably? Cause guys don't like to talk about you know what. Yeah, cause we, I yielded in an angry voice. We won't do that again, Draco promised. This time, we're going with an escort. OMFG, what the fuck? Are you giving into the mainstream? I asked. So I guess you're a prep or a Christian or whatever now? No, he muttered loudly. Are you becoming a prep or what? I shooted angrily. Enobi, I'm not. Please come with me. He fell down to his knees and started singing The World is Black by Good Charlotte to me. I was flattered, because that's not even a single. He had memorized the lyrics just for me. Okay, then I guess I will have to, I said, and then we Frenched while we went up to my room. Bloody Mary was standing there. Hajimemashite, girl, she said happily. She speaks Japanese, and so do I. That means, how do you do in Japanese. By the way, Willow, that fucking poser, got expelled. She failed all her classes, and she skipped math. Author's note, Raven, you fucking suck. Fuck you. It serves that fucking bick right, I laughed angrily. Well, anyway, we were feeling all depressed. We watched some gothic movies like Das Nightmare Before Christmas. Maybe Willow will die too. I said, Kawaii. Bloody Mary shook her head lethargically. Oh yeah. Oh, I have a confession. After she got expelled, I murdered her, and then Lupin did it with her because he's a necrophiliac. Kawaii, I commented happily. We talked to each other in silence for the rest of the movie. Oh hey, by the way, I'm going to a concert with Draco tonight in Hogsmeade with MCR, I said. I need to wear, like, the hottest outfit ever. Bloody Mary nodded energetically. OMFG totally, let's go shopping. In Hot Topic, right? I asked, getting out my special Hot Topic loyalty card. No, my head snapped up. What? My head spun. I could not believe it. Bloody Mary, are you a prep? No, she laughed. I found some cool gothic stores near Hogwarts, that's all. Who told you about them? I asked. Sure it would be Draco or Diablo or Vampire? Don't even say that name to me. Or me. Dumbledore, she said. Let me just call our brooms. OMFG, Dumbledore? I asked quietly. Yeah, I saw the map for Hogsmeade on his desk, she told me. Come on, let's go. We were going in a few punk goth stores, specifically for the concerts in Hogsmeade. The salesperson was OMG hotter than Gerard, except not, because that's impossible. And he gave me a few dresses. We only have these for the real goths. The real goths? Me and Bloody Mary asked. Yeah, you wouldn't believe how many posers are in this town, man. Yesterday, Lupin and Snap tried to buy a gothic camera pouch. He shook his head. I didn't even know they had a camera. OMFG, no, they're gonna spy on me again, I cried, running out of the change room wearing a long black dress with lots of red tulle coming out and a very low cut with a huge slit. Oh my Satan, you have to buy that outfit, the salesperson said. Yeah, it looks totally hot, said Bloody Mary. You know what? I'm gonna give it to you for free because you look really hot in that outfit. Hey, are you gonna be at the concert tonight? He asked. Yeah, I am, actually. I looked back at him. Hey, by the way, my name's Ebony Darkness Dementia Tara Way. What's yours? Tom Ridd, he said, and ran a hand through his black dyed hair. Maybe I'll see you there tonight. Yeah, I don't think so, because I'm going there with my boyfriend Draco, you sick perv, I yelled angrily. But before he could beg me to go with him, Hagrid flew in on his black broom looking worried. OMFG, Ebondi, you need to get back into the castle now! Chapter 17. Author's note, I said stop flamin' the story. If you're a prep, don't read it. You can tell whether you're a prep or not by my quiz. It's on my homepage. If you're not, then you rock. If you are, then fuck off. P.S. Willow isn't really a prep. Raven, please do this. I promise I'll give back your poster. Tom Riddle gave us some clothes and stuff for free. He said he would help us with makeup if we wanted because he was really into fashion and stuff. He's bisexual. Hagrid kept shooting at us to come back to Hogwarts. What the fuck, Hagrid? I shouted angrily. Fuck off, you fucking bastard. Well, anyway, Willow came. Hagrid went away angrily. Hey bitch, you look kawaii, she said. Yeah, but not as kawaii as you, I answered sadly, because Willow's really pretty and everything. She was wearing a short black corset thingy with blood red lace on it and black blood red miniskirt, leather fishnets, and black pointy boots that showed off how pale she was. She had a really nice body with big boobs and everything. She was thin enough to be anorexic. So are you going to the concert with Draco? She asked. Yeah, I said happily. I'm going with Diablo, she answered happily. Well, anyway, Draco and Diablo came. They were both looking extremely hot and sexy, and you could tell they thought we were hot too. Diablo was wearing a black t-shirt that said 666 on it. He was wearing tons of makeup, just like Marilyn Manson. Draco was wearing black leather pants and a gothic black Good Charlotte t-shirt and black Vans he got from the Warped Tour. Bloody Mary was going to the concert with Dracola. Dracola used to be called Navel, but it turned out he was kidnapped at birth and his real family were vampires. They died in a car crash. Navel converted to Satanism and he went goth. He was in Slytherin now. He was wearing a black Warped t-shirt, black jeans and shoes, and black hair with red streaks in it. We call him Dracula now. Well, anyway, we all went to Draco's black Mercy Benz, get it, because we're gothic, that his dad Lucian gave him. We did pot, coke, and crack. Draco and I made out. We made fun of those stupid fucking preps. We soon got there. I gasped. Gerard was the sexiest guy ever. He looked even sexier than in the pics. He had long raven black hair and piercing blue eyes. He was really skinny and he had an amazing ethnic voice. We moshed to Helena and some other songs. Suddenly, Gerard puffed off his mask. So did the other members. I gasped. It wasn't Gerard at all. It was an ugly, preppy man with no nose and red eyes. Everyone ran away but me and Draco. Draco and I came. It was Voldemort and the Dash Dealers. You moronic idiots, he shouted angstily. Enobi, I told you to kill Vampire. Thou have failed, and now I shall kill thou and Draco. No, no, please, we begged sadly, but he took out his knife. Suddenly, a gothic old man flew in on his broomstick. He had long black hair and a long black beard. He was wearing a black robe that said Avril Lavigne on the back. He shotted a spell at Voldemort and ran away. It was Dumbledore! Chapter 18. Author's note, I said stop flamming. If you do, then you're a fucking prep. Thanks to Raven for helping and stuff. You rock, and you're not a prep. Fangs, form a sweater. P.S. The other reason Dumbledore swore is 'cause he's trying to be gothic. So dare. I woke up the next day in my coffin. I walked out of it and put on some black eyeliner, black eyeshadow, blood red lipstick, and a black, really low-cut leather dress that was all ripped and in stripes so that you could see my belly. I was wearing a skull belly ring with some black and red diamonds inside it. The night before, Draco and I went back to the skull, get it? Skull, 'cause I'm gothic and I like death. Dumbledore chased Voldemort away. We flew there on our brooms. Mine was black, and the broom stuff was blood red. There was lace all over it. Draco had a black MCR broom. We went back to our rooms, and we had, you know what, to a Linkin Park song. Well, anyway, I went down to the Great Hall. There all the walls were painted black, and the tables were black too. But you could see that there was pink pant underneath the black pant. And there were posters of poser bands everywhere like Ashley Simpson and the Backstreet Boys. What the fuck? I shouted. I was going to sit next to Bloody Mary and Willow. Bloody Mary was wearing a black miniskirt with a Good Charlotte t-shirt, black fishnets, and black pointy boots. Willow was wearing a long gothic black dress with blood red writing that was all lacy and came up to your thighs, and black boots and fishnets. Vampire Dracula and Draco came. We started to talk about who was sexier, Mikey or Gerard Way or Billy Joe Armstrong. The boys joined in, 'cause they were bi. Those guys are so fucking hot, Navel was saying, and suddenly a gothic old man with a black beard and everything came. He was the same one who had chased away Voldemort yesterday. He had normal tan skin, but he was wearing white foundation and he had dyed his hair black. Dumbledore? We all gasped. What the fuck? I shouted angrily. I thought he was just wearing that to scare Voldemort. Hello everyone, he said happily. As you can see, I gave the room a makeover. What do you think about it? Everyone from the poser table in Gryffindor started to cheer. We were all goths, so we just looked at each other, all dissatisfied, and shook our heads. We couldn't believe what a poser he was. By the way, you can call me Albert, he called as we left to our classes. What a fucking poser, Draco shouted angrily as we went to transformation. We were holding hands. Vampire looked really jealous. I could see him crying blood in a gothic way. Get it? Like Gerard. But I didn't say anything. I bet he's having a midlife crisis, Willow shouted. I was so fucking angry. Chapter 19. I'm not okay, I promise. Author's note, stop flaming the story. If you do, you're a fucking prep and you're jealous, okay? From now on, I'm not going to delete your mean reviews. By the way, Evany a pureblood, so dare. Thanks to Raven for the help. All day we sat angrily thinking about Dumbledore. We were so fucking pissed off. Well, I had one thing to look forward to, the MCR concert. It had been postponed so we could all go. Anyway, we went to the common room sadly to cut classes. Draco was being all secretive. I asked him what it was and he got all mad at me and started crying all hot and angsty. Aren't sensitive bi guys so hot? No one fucking understands me, he shouted angrily as his black hair went into his big blue eyes like Billy Joel in Boulevard of Broken Dreams. He was wearing a black baggy pants, a black MCR t-shirt, and a black dye. Get it? Instead of tie, because I'm gothic. I was wearing a black leather low-cut top with chains all over it, and a black leather mini dress, black high-heeled boots, and a cross belly ring. My hair was all up in a messy, really high bun, like Amy Lee in Going Under. Email me if you want to see the pic. Excuse me? What about it? I growled. But But, he grunted. You fucking bastard, I moaned. No, wait, it's not what it fucking looks like, he shouted, but it was too late. I knew what I heard. I ran to the bathroom angrily, crying. Draco banged on the door. I wept and wept as my bloody eyeliner screamed down my cheeks and made cool tears down my face, like Benji in the video for Girls and Boys. Raven, that is so our video. I took out a cigarette and started to smoke pot. Suddenly, Hagrid came. He had apparated. You gave me a fucking shock, I shouted angrily, dropping my pot. What the fuck do you think you're doing in the girls' room? Only it wasn't just Hagrid. Someone else was with him too. For a second, I wanted it to be Tom Ridd or maybe Draco, but it was Dumbledore. Hey, I need to ask you a question, he said, pulling out his black wannabe gothic purse. What are you wearing to the concert? You know who MCR are? I gasped. No, I just thought there was a concert that a lot of goths and punks were going to, he said. Anyway, Draco has a surprise for you. Chapter 20. Author's note. I said, do not care what you think. Stop flamin', okay, preps? Thanks to Raven for the help. Oh yeah, by the way, I'll be on vacation in Transylvania for the next 3 days, so don't expect updates. All day, I wondered what the surprise was. Meanwhile, I put on a black leather mini, a black corset with purple lace and stuff all over it, and a black gothic compact boots. MCR were going to do the concert again, since Voldemort had taken over the last one. I slit my wrists while I moshed to MCR in my bedroom all night, feeling excited. Suddenly, somebody knocked on my door while I was trying on some black clothes and moshing to Fangs for the venom. I got all mad and turned it off, but scaredly, I hoped inside that it was Draco so that we could do it again. What the fucking hell are you doing? I shouted angrily. It was Lupin. Are you gonna come rape me or what? I yelled. I was allowed to say that because Dumbledore had told all of us to be careful around them and Snap since he was a pedo. No, actually, get it? Hell? Can I please borrow some condoms? He growled angrily. Yeah, so you can fuck your 6-year-old girlfriend, huh? I shouted sarcastically. Fucker, he said, going away. Well, anyway, I put on some black eyeshadow, black eyeliner, and some black lipstick and white foundation. Then I went. Then I gasped. Snake and Lupin were in the middle of the empty hall, doing it. And Dobby was watching. Oh my god, you ludicrous idiot. They both shooted angrily when they saw me. Dobby ran away crying. They got up though. Normally, I would have been turned on. I love seeing guys do it, but both of them were fucking preps. By the way, Snake is moved to Gryffindor now. What the fuck, is that why you wanted condoms? I asked sadistically. See, I spelled that. Only you wouldn't give them to me, Lumpkin shouted angrily. Well, you should have told me, I replayed. You dimwit, Snake began to shoot angrily, and then I took out my black camera and took a pic of them. You could see that they were naked and everything. Well, excuse me, they both shouted angrily. What was that all about? It was to fucking blackmail you, I snarked. So now, next time you see me doing it with my boyfriend, you can't fucking rat me out, or I'll show this to Dumbledore. So fuck off, you bastards. I started to run. They chased me, but I threw my wound at them and they tripped over it. Well, anyway, I went outside and there was Vampire looking extremely fucking hot. What the fuck? Where to Draco? I asked him. Oh, he's being a fucking bastard. He told me he wouldn't come. Vampire said, shaking his head. You want to come with me to the concert? Then he showed me his flying car. I gasped. It was a black car. He said his dog father, Sirius Black, had given it to him. The license plate on the front said MCR 666 on it. The one on the back said Enobi on it. I gasped. We flew off to the concert hall. MCR were there playing. Vampire and I began to make out, moshing to the music. I gasped, looking at the band. I almost had an orgasm. Gerard was so fucking hot. He began to sing Helena, and his sexa beautiful voice began to fill the hall. And then I heard someone crying. I turned and saw Draco crying in a corner. Chapter 21. Author's note, fuck you, okay? You fucking suck. It's not my fault if it's spelled wrong, okay? Cause that bitch Raven, fuck you, preps. Whoops, saws, Raven, thanks for the help. By the way, Transylvania rocks hard. I even got to go to the castle where Dracula was filmed. Later, we all went to the Skull. Draco was crying in the common room. Draco, are you okay? I asked in a gothic voice. No, I'm not, you fucking bitch, he shouted angrily. He started to run out of the place in a suicidal way. I started to cry because I was afraid he would commit suicide. It's okay, Inobe, said Vampire, comfortably. I'll make him feel better. You mean you'll go fuck him, won't you? I shouted angrily. Then I ran to get Draco. Vampire came too. Draco, please come, he began to cry. Tears of blood came down his pale face. I was so turned on, because I love sensitive bi guys. If you're a homophobe, then fuck off. And then we heard some footsteps. Vampire got out his black invisibility cloak. We both got under it. We saw the janitor, Mr. Norris, out there, shouting angrily with a flashlight in his hand. Who's there? He shouted angrily. We saw Filth come. He went under the invisibility cloak and started to meow loudly. Is anyone there? Yelled Mr. Norris. No, you fucking preppy little poser son of a fucking bitch, Vampire said under his breast in a disgusted way. Excuse me, who said that? Yelled Mr. Norris. Then he heard Filch meow. Filth, is there anyone under the cloak? He asked. Filth nodded, and then Vampire Frenched me. He did it just as Mr. Norris was taking off the cloak. What the? He yelled, but too late, 'cause now we were running away from him, and then we saw Draco crying and busting into tears and slitting his wrist outside of the school. Draco, I cried, are you okay? I guess, though. Draco wept. We went back to our coffins, Frenching each other. Draco and I decided to watch Lake Placid. See, isn't that depressing? On the gothic red bed together. As I was about to put in the video, my eyes rolled up and suddenly I had a vision of something that was happening now. There was a knock on the door, and Fug and the Mystery of Magic walked into the school. Chapter 22. Author's note, shut the fuck up. Prep, stop flaming, okay? If you don't like it, fuck off. I know it's Mr. Norris. It's Raven's fault. You suck. No, just kidding, Raven. You fucking rock. Preps suck. All day, everyone talked about the misery of magic. Well, anyway, I woke up the next day. I was in my coffin, so I opened the door. I was wearing black lacy leather pajamas. Then I gasped. Standing in front of me were Bloody Mary, Vampire Diablo, Draco, Dracula, and Willow. I opened my crimson eyes. Willow was wearing a tight black leather top, with pictures of bloody roses all over it. Under that, she wore a black poofy skirt with lace on it, and black gothic boots that was attached to the top. Vampire was wearing a baggy Simple Plan t-shirt and baggy black pants and Vans. Draco was wearing a black MCR t-shirt and black jeans and a leather jacket. He looked just like Gerard Way and almost as fucking sexy. Vampire looked like Joel Madden. Bloody Mary was wearing a tight black poofy gothic dress that she had ripped so it showed off all her cleavage, with a white apron that said bitch and other swear words and MCR lyrics on it, kind of like the one dress I had seen Amy Lee wear once. Darkness, who is Jenny, was there too. She was wearing a ripped gothic black dress with ripped stuff all over it and a lace-up top thing and black pointy boots. So were Crab and Goyle. It turned out that Darkness Diablo Crab and Goyle's dad was a vampire. He committed suicide by slitting his wrist with a razor. He had raped them and stuff before too. They all got so depressed that they became gothic and converted to Satanism. OMFG, I yelled as I jumped up. Why the fuck are you all here? Inobe, something is really fucked up, Draco said. Okay, but I need to put my fucking clothes on first, I shouted angrily. It's alright, we have to go now, and you look kawaii anyway. You're fucking beautiful, Draco said in a sexy voice. Oh, alright, I said, smiling. But you have to tell me why you're being all erective. I will, he said. So I just put on some black eyeliner, black lipstick, and red eyeshadow and white foundation. Then I came. We all went outside the Great Hall and looked in from a window. A fucking prep called Brittany from Gryffindor was standing next to us. She was wearing a pink mini and a Hilary Duff t-shirt, so we put up our middle fingers at her. Inside the Great Hall, we could see Dumbledore. Cornelia Fudged was there, shouting at Dumbledore. Doris Rumbridge was there too. This cannot be, she shouted angrily. The school must be closed. The Dark Lord is planning to kill the students, yelled Cornelia Fudge. You are not fit to be the principal any longer, yelled Rumbridge. You are too old, and your Alzheimer's is dangerous. You must retry or Voldemort will kill your students. Very well, Dumbledore said angrily, but we cannot do this. We cannot close the school. There is only one person capable of killing Voldemort, and she is in the school, and her name is... Enoni, Darkness, Dementia, Ravenway. Draco, Crab, Goyle, Darkness, Willow, Vampire, and Bloody Mary looked at each other. I gasped. Chapter 23. Author's note, Dut the fuck up, bitches. You're just jealous I got 10,000 reviews. One thanks to Raven for the help in telling me about the books. Girl, you rock. Let's go shopping together. The door opened and Professor Rumbridge and Cornelia Fudge stomped out angrily. Then Dumbledum and Rumbridge saw at us. Mr. Way, what the beep are you doing? Rumbridge shouted angrily. Dumbledore blared at her. Oops, she made a mistake. He corrupted her. She means, hi everybody, come in. We all came in angrily. So did all the other students. I sat between Darkness and Draco and opposite Bloody Mary. Crab and Goyle started to make some morbid jokes. They both looked exactly like Villy Vollo. I ate some Count Chocula and drank some blood from a cup. Then I heard someone shooting angrily. I looked behind me. It was Vampire. He and Draco were shooting at each other. Vampire, Draco, what the fuck? I asked. You fucking bastard, yelled Draco at Vampire. I want to shit next to her. No, I do. No, I do. She doesn't fucking like you, you son of a bitch, yelled Draco. No, fuck you, motherfucker. She loves me, not you, shouted Vampire. And then he jumped on Draco. Not in that way, you perv. They started to fight and beat each other up. Dumbledore yelled at them, but they didn't stop. All of a sudden, a terrible man with red eyes and no nose flew in on his broomstick. He had no nose and was wearing a grey robe. All the glass in the window he flew through fell apart. Brittany, that fucking prep, started to cry. Vampire and Draco stopped fighting. I stopped eating. Everyone gasped. The room fell silent. Voldemort! Eboby! Ebony! Darth Vader said evilly in his raspy voice. Thou have failed your mission. Now I shall kill thou, and I shall kill Vampire as well. If thou does not kill him before, then I shall kill Draco too. Please don't make me kill him, please, I begged. No, he laughed crudely. Kill him, or I shall kill him anyway. Then he flew away cackling. I burst into tears. Draco and Vampire came to comfort me. Suddenly, my eyes rolled up so they looked all cool and gothic. I had a vision where I saw lightning flash, and then Voldemort coming to kill Draco while Draco slit his wrists in a depressed way. No, I screamed sexily. Suddenly, I locked up and stopped having the vision. Ebony, Ebony, are you all right? Asked Draco in a worried voice. Yeah, I said sadly as I got up. Everything's all right, Enobi, said Vampire, all sensitive. No, it's not, I shouted angrily. Tears of blood went down my face. OMFG, what if I'm getting possessed, like in The Ring too? It's okay, girl, said Bloody Mary. Maybe you should ask Professor Sinister about what the vision mean, though. Okay, bitch, I said, and then we went. Chapter 24. Author's note, prep, stop flamin' the story. You're just jealous, so fuck you. Okay, go to hell. Raven, thanks for the help. Well, we had divination next, so I got to ask Professor Trevolry about the visions. Konnichiwa, everyone, come in, said Professor Sinister in Japanese. She smelled at me with her gothic black lipstick. She's the coolest fucking teacher ever. She had long, dead black hair with blood-red tips and red eyes. Her mom was a vampire. She's also half Japanese, so she speaks it and everything. She and Bloody Mary get along great. She's really young for a teacher. Today, she was wearing a black leather top with red lace and a long gothic black ribbed dress. We went inside the black classroom with posters of Emily the Strange. I raised my hand. I was wearing some black nail polish with red pentagrams on it. What is it, Ebony? She asked. Hey, I love your nail polish. Where'd you get it? Hot Topic? Yeah, I answered. All the preps who didn't know what Hot Topic was gave me weird looks. I gave them the middle finger. Well, I have to talk to you about some things. When do you want to do it? How about now? She asked. Okay, I said. Okay, class fucking dismissed everyone, Professor Trevolry said, and she let everyone go. Except for you, Brittany, she pointed at Brittany and some other preps. Please do exercise 1 on page 3. Okay, I'm having lots of visions, I said in a worried voice. I'm so worried Draco is gonna die. Well, she gave me a black cryptic ball to look in. I looked at it. What do you see? She asked. I said, I see a black gothic skull and a pentagram. Suddenly, there was a knock at the door. I looked at it. It was Draco. He was looking really sexy, wearing a black leather facet, a black gothic Linkin Park t-shirt, and black Congress shoes. Okay, you can go now. See ya, cunt, said Professor Sinister. Bye, bitch, I said, waving. I went to Draco and Vampire was sitting next to him. We both followed Draco together, and I was so exhibited. Chapter 25. Author's note, stop flaming, okay? If you do not, then I'll tell Justin to bet you up. And I'll tell the nerds to put viruses on your computer. Fuck you. Raven, thanks for the help. I was so excited. I followed Draco, wondering if we were going to do it again. We went outside, and then we went into Draco's black car. Ebony, what the fuck did Professor Trevorrow say? Whispered Draco, putting his gothic witch hand in with black nail polish on mine. She said she would tell me what the visions meant tomorrow, I grumbled in a sexy voice. He took out a heroin cabaret and spiked it and gave it to me to spork. He started to fly the car into a tree. We went to the top of it. Draco put on some MCR. All the things that you never ever told me, and all the smiles that are ever gonna haunt me, sang Gerard's sexy voice. We started tiling off each other's clothes, fervently. He took off my black thong and my black leather bra. I took off his boxers. Then he put his throbbing you-know-what in my tool sexily. OMFG, Draco, Draco, I screamed, having an orgasm. We started Frenching passively. Suddenly, I fell asleep. I started having a dream. In it, a black guy was shooting two gothic men with long black hair. No, please don't fucking kill us. They pleaded, but he just kept shooting them. He ran away in a red car. No, oh my fucking god, I shouted in a scared voice. Ebony, what's wrong? Draco asked me as I woke up, opening my icy blue eyes. I started to cry and tears of blood went down my face. I told Draco to call Vampire. He did it with his black Lincoln Park mobile. But the worst thing was who the people who were shot in the dream were. Lucian and Sirius. Chapter 26, author's note, stop flamin' the story, okay? If you don't like the story, then go fuck yourself, you fucking preps. You suck. Oh, why? And I wasn't being racist, okay? A few minutes later, Vampire came to the tree. He was wearing a black leather jacket, black leather pants, and a Good Charlotte t-shirt. Hi, Vampire, I said flirtily as I started to sob. Draco hugged me sexily, trying to comfort me. I started to cry tears of blood, and then told them what happened. Oh, fuck it, Vampire shouted angrily. He started to cry sadly. What fucking dick did that? I don't know, I said. Now come on, we have to tell Dumbledore. We ran out of the tree, into the castle. Dumbledore was sitting in his office. Sire, our dads have been shot, Draco said, while we wiped some tears from his white face. Enobi had a vision in a dream. Dumbledore started to cockle. Ha 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 ha. And how do you expect me to know Ebony's not divisional? I glared at Dumbledore. Look, motherfucker, he said angrily as Dumbledore gasped. See, is that toot out of crackture? You know very well that I'm not decisional. Now get some fucking people out there to look for Sirius and Lucian pronto. Okay, he said in an imitated voice. Where are they? I thought about it. Then all of a sudden, Longdon, I said. I told him which street. He went and called some people and did some stuff. After a few minutes, he came back and said people were going to look for them. After a while, someone called him again. He said they had been found. Draco, Vampire, and I all left our rooms together. I went with Draco to wait in the nurse's office while Vampire went to slit his wrists in his room. We looked at each other's gothic, depressed eyes, then we kissed. Suddenly, Sirius and Lucian came in on stretchers and Professor Sinister behind them. Chapter 27, Vampires Will Never Hurt You. Author's note, you know what? I don't give a fuck what you preps think about me. So stop flamin' the fucking story, bitches. Thanks to Raven for your love and support and help. I love you, girl. Sorry I couldn't update lol. I was really depressed and I slit my wrist. I had to go to the hospital. Raven, you rock, girl. Everyone in the room started to cry happily. I saved them. Draco, Lucian, Sirius, Bond, Vampire all came to hug me. The nurses started to give them medicine. Come on, Ebony, said Professor Sinatra. She was wearing a gothic black leather dress with a corset on top and real vampire blood on it, and fucking black platinum boots. I have to tell you the fucking perdition. I looked at Lucian, Sirius, Drake, and Vampire. They nodded. I smelled happily and went into a dark room. I had changed. Professor Sinister took out some black cards. She started to look into a black crucible ball. She said, Tara, I see dark times are near. She said badly. She peered into the balls. You see, you must go back in time. She took out a time turner, like Bloody Mary had. When Voldemort was in Hogwarts before, he became powerful. He got his heart broken. Now do you think he would still become Voldemort if he was in love? I shook my head. You must go back in time and seduce him. It's the only way. If he's still evil, then you must kill him. You can come to my room tomorrow, and you can do it. Okay, I said sadly. We did death's touch sin. I went outside again sadly. What fucking happened? Asked Draco and Vampire. Yeah, what happened? Asked Darkness, Willow, and Bloody Mary. I was about to tell them, but everyone was there. They were celebrating Lucian and Sirius being found. Everyone was proud of me, but I wanted to talk to Draco. They were cheesing my name, and some reporters were there trying to interview Dumbledore. A banner was put up. Lots of fucking preps were there, obviously trying to be gothic, wearing the him sign on their hands, despite them not having actually heard of him. Even Mr. Norris looked happy. A black and red cake had been brought in. Crabbe and Goyle set up some fireworks in the shape of skulls from Wesley's Wizard Wises. I put on my invisibility cloak with Vampire and Draco, and we sneaked outside together. Chapter 28. Author's note, I said, stop flaming the story. It was a mistake when Professor R'hllori said that, okay? Go to fucking hell, you suck. Thanks to Philly for to help. Raven, have fun with Kiwi. We went into a black room. The walls were black, with portraits of gothic bands like MCR, Good Charlotte, and Marilyn Manson all over them. A big black coffin was in the middle. Red velvet lined the box. There was 3 chairs made of bones with real skulls in them. I was wearing a black corset with purple stuff on it, fishnet stockings, and a black leather thong underneath. I sat down on one of the chairs, dispersedly. So did Draco and Vampire. Are you okay? Vampire asked, potting his alabastered hand on mine. He was wearing black nail polish. I was wearing black nail polish with red crosses on it. Yeah, I guess, I said sadly. Draco also put his hand on mine, sexily. I smiled sadly, with my black lipstick. The problem is, I have to seduce Voldemort. I have to go back in time. Draco started to cry sadly. Vampire hugged him. It's okay, Abobi, he said finally. But what about me? You're not gonna break up or anything, are you? Of course not, I gasped. Really? He asked. Sure, I said. We Frenched sexily. Vampire looked at us longingly. Then I took off Draco's MCR shirt and seductively took off his pants. He was hung like a Stallone. He had replaced the vampire tattoo that said Enemy on it. Black roses were around it. I gasped. He looked exactly like Gerard Way. Vampire took a video camera. I had said it was okay before. I took off my clothes. Then we were in for the ride of our life. We started Frenching. As we climbed into the coffin, he put his Spock in my you-know-what, and we passively did it. I love you, Abobi. Oh, let me feel you. I need to feel you, he screamed. As we got an orgasm, we watched Vampire filmed everything perfectly. Suddenly, what the fuck are you doing? It was Snap and Professor McGoggle. Chapter 29. Sot das fuck up. You're just jealous, 'cause you're preps, so fuck you. Raven, you rock, girl. Thanks for the help. MCR rocks. 666. Oh my Satan, we screamed as we jumped out of the coffin. Snap and Professor McGonagall started to shoot at us angrily. Come now, Professor McGonagall yielded. We did, guiltily. We left the room, putting on our clothes. Snoop garbed up the camera and put it in his pocket. Hey, what the fuck? Vampire shooted angrily. Yeah, Buster, what the fuck are you gonna do with the fucking camera? Draco demanded, all protective, looking at me longingly with his gothic red eyes. Look, Dumbledore knows your little secrets, and if you do this again, then you will go to St. Mango's, so give back the camera. Ha 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 ha. The mystery of magic thinks he's crazy. There's no way they'll believe him. Snoop laughed meanly. Yeah, so shut your mouth, you insolent fools, yelled Professor McGoggle. She made us come to a weird room with white stones all around it. There were these weird tools in it. Draco started to cry all sexy and sexative. Get it? 'Cause he's a sex bomb, lol. Tom Felton rules for life, but not as much as Gerard. You're sex on legs. I love you. You fucking rock. Marry me. I started to cry. Tears of blood. It happens in Vampire Chronicles. Raven said so. Okay, so fuck you. Vampire took out a black handkerchief and started to wipe my red eyes. And then he and Snoop both took out guns using magic. They started to shoot each other angrily. None of the bullets got on each other. I took out my wand. Crucio, I shouted. Snap started to scram. He dropped the gun, but it was too late. Both of them had run out of bullets. I stopped to curse. Professor McGoggle did a spell so that we were all chained up. She took out a box of tools. Then she said, Okay, Severus, I'm going to go now. She left. Snap started to laugh evilly. Vampire started to cry. It's okay, Anobi, said Draco. Everything will be all right. Remember the video you took of Snake? Snape laughed again, and then he took out some whips. Chapter 30. Author's note, stop flaming the story, okay? You don't know what's even going to happen, so fuck you. If you flame, then you will be a prep, so all flamers can kiss my ass. Sorry for saying Alzheimer's is dangerous, but that's the mystery's opinion, 'cause society basically sucks. Thanks to Raven, you rock, bitch. No, we screamed sadly. Snap started loafing meanly. He took out a camera anvilly. Then he came towards Draco. He took some stones out of his pockets. He put the stones around Draco and lit a candle. What the fuck are you doing? I shouted angrily. Snoop laughed meanly. He put down his pants. I gasped. There was a dark mark on his you-know-what. He waved his wand, and a knife came. He gave the knife to me. You must stab Rompire, he said to me. If you don't, then I'll rape Draco. No, you fucking bastard, I yielded. But then, Draco looked at me sadly with his evil gothic red eyes that looked so depressed and sexy. He looked exactly like a pentagram. Lol, get it? 'Cause I'm a Satanist? Between Kurt Cobain and Gerard. But then I looked at Vampire and he looked so smexy too, with his gothic black hair. I thought of the time when we screwed, and the time when I did it with Draco and Dumbledore came, and the time where Draco almost committed suicide and Vampire was so supportive. Snape laughed angrily. He started to pray to Voldemort. He started to do an incapacitation, dancing around the Stokes, whipping Draco and Vampire. Suddenly an idea I had. I closed my eyes and using my vampire powers, I sent a telepathic message to Draco and Vampire so they would destruct Snape. Dumbledore will get you, Draco shooted. Yeah, just wait until the mystery finds out, Vampire yelled. Meanwhile, I took out my wand. You ridiculous dunderhead, Snoop yielded. He took off Draco's clothes, just as he was about to rape him. Crucio! I pointed my wand. Snoop screamed and started running around the room screaming. Meanwhile, I grabbed my black mobile and sent a text to Sirius. I stopped doing my Crucio. You dunderhead! I'm going to kill! Shooted Snape, but suddenly Severus came. Snake put the whip behind his back. Hello, Seb. I was just teaching them something. He lied. But suddenly Lucian and Professor Trevolry came into the room, and they and Sirius unlocked the chains and put them around Snap. And Professor Trevolry said, "Come on, Ebony, let's go." Chapter 31. I said, shut the fuck up. Stop calling Ebony and Mary Sue, okay? You don't even know what's going to happen, so fuck you. Fangs, my BFF Raven, for to help. I always knew you were on Voldemort's side, you son of a bitka. Buffy rocks, Sirius said to Snape. No, I'm not. I was teaching them something, Snap clammed. Oh, fucking yeah. I took some black Volvemort serum out of my pocket and gave it to Severus. He made Snap drink it. He did, angrily. Then Lucius took out a tape recorder and started playing it while he did curses on Snap. Then Professor Sinister and Lucian made us get out with them while Snape told his secrets. Lucian took Vampire and Draco to the nurse. After thanking me a million times, Professor Trevolry took me to a dark room. Now I was going to go back in time to seduce Voldemort. Moving posters of MCR and Nirvana were all over. Hermione, Darkness, and Willow came too. Bloody Mary gave me a black bag from Tom Ridd's store. What's in the bag? I asked Professor Trevolry. You will see, she said. I opened the bag. In it was a sexy, tight, low-smut black leather gothic dress. It had red corset stuff, and there was a slit up the leg. I put it on. My friends helped me put on black fishnets and black pointy boots Willow had chosen. Willow and Darkness helped me put on black eyeliner and blood red lipstick. You look fucking kawaii, bitch, Bloody Mary said. Fangs, I said. Okay, now you're going to go back in time, said Professor Sinister. You will have to do it in a few sessions. She gave me a black gun. I put it in a strap in my fishnets, like in Resident Evil. Then she gave me a black time turner. After an hour, use the time turner to go back here, Professor Trevolry said. Then she and Bloody Mary put a pensieve in front of me. Everyone went in front of it. Good luck! Everyone shooted. Darkness and Willow gave me Death's Touch Sin. Then I jumped sexily into the pensieve. Suddenly, I was in front of the school. In front of me was one of the sexiest goth guys I had ever seen. He was wearing long black hair, kind of like Mikey Way, only black. He had green eyes like Billy Joel Armstrong, and pale white skin. He was wearing a black ripped suit with Vans. It was Tom Bombadil. Draco. You're looking sexy today, Draco.
Oh, yeah.
You look like such a sex bomb, Draco.
Hello, Antichrist.
Gerard Way II, get out of bed. Ah! I love literature. It's not about him. Oh my god. She reads this canonically in My Immortal.
What is it?
I don't honestly think that Tara read it. I think Raven probably read it and told Tara about it. Tara's illiterate.
Got it.
Raven's the brain cells behind My Immortal. Chapter 32, author's note. I said, stop flaming. I know his name isn't Tom Bodil. That was a mistake. If you don't like the story, then you can go screw yourself. You suck! Hi, I said flirtily. I'm Anobi Way, the new student. I shock my pale hands with their black nail polish with him. "The name's Tom," he said, "but you can call me Satan. That's my middle name." We shook hands. "Well, come on, we have to go upstairs," Satan said. I followed him. "Hey, Satan, do you happen to be a fan of Green Day, since MCR and Evanescence don't exist yet, Den?" I asked. "Oh my fucking god, how did you know?" Satan gasped. "I actually like Good Charlotte a lot too. Get it? Because Good Charlotte did that song, I Just Wanna Live, that sounded really 80s. "OMG, me too," I replied happily. "Guess what? They have a concert in Hogsmeade," Satan whispered. "Hogsmeade?" I asked. "Yeah, that's what they used to call it in these time before it became Hogsmeade in 2000, he told me secretively. "There's a really cool shop called Hot Topic," I finished, happy again. He frowned confusedly. "No, it's called Hot Issue." He smiled, secretively again. "Then in 1998, they changed it to Hot Topic." He moaned. Oh, now everything was making sense for me. "So is Dumbledore your principal?" I shouted. "Uh-huh." He looked back at his nails. "I'm in Slytherin." "OMFG, me too!" I shrieked. "You go to this skull? Get it? 'Cause I'm gothic?" He asked. "Yeah, that's why I'm here. I'm new." I smelled happily. Suddenly, Dumbledore flew in on his broomstick and started shredding at us angrily. "No talking in the halls!" He had short blonde hair and was wearing a polo shirt from American Ogle Outfitters. "Stupid goths!" Satan rolled his eyes. "He's so mean to goths and punks just because we're in Slytherin and we're not preps." I turned around angrily. "Actually, I think maybe it's because you're the Dark Lord." "What the fuck?" he asked angrily. "Oh, nothing," I said sweetly. Then suddenly, the floor opened. "OMFG, no!" I screamed as I fell down. Everybody looked at me weirdly. "Hey, where are you going?" Satan asked as I fell. I got out of the hole, and I was back in the pensieve in front of Professor Trelawney's classroom. Dumbledore was there. "Dumbledore, I think I just met you," I said. "Oh yeah, I remember that," Dumbledore said, trying to be all gothic. Sinister came in. "Hey, this is my classroom. Wait, what the fuck, Inobi? What the hell are you doing?" I looked at her. "Oh yeah, I forgot about that." "What the fuck, how?" I screamed, forgetting she was a teacher for a second, but she's a goth, so it's okay. Professor Sinister looked sad. I was drinking Voldemort serum." She started to cry black tears of depression. Dumbledore didn't know about them. "Hey, are you crying tears of blood?" he asked curiously, touching a tear. "Fuck off," we both said, and Dumbledore took his hand away. Professor Sinister started crying again in her chair, sobbing limpid tears. "OMFG, Ebony, I think I'm addicted to Voldemort's serum." Author's note, "See, you fucking preps? Go fuck yourself. That's serious issues. To go to hell." Chapter 33. Author's note, I said shut up. It's not my fault, okay? If you don't like the story, then you're a prep, so fuck you, flamers. P.S. I'm not updating until you give me 5 good reviews, and this time I mean it. You suck. Thanks, Raven, for the help. I promise I'll help you with your story, lols. "Oh my fucking god," I shooted sadly. "Should we get you to St. Manga's, bitch?" "Hell no," she said. "Listen, Agagi, I need your help. Next time you go back in time, do you think you could ask Tom Anderson for some help?" "Sure," I said sadly. I went outside the door. Draco was there. He was wearing a big black Good Charlotte t-shirt, which was his pajamas. "Hey, sexy," I said. "How'd it go, Inobi?" he asked, and his voice was so sexy and low, kind of like Gerard Way when he's talking. "Fine," I responded. We started to go back into the dorm. "How far did you go with Satan?" Draco asked jealously. "Not too far, lol," I borked. "Will you have to do it with him?" Draco asked angstily. "I hope not too far," I shouted angrily. Then I felt bad for shooting at him. I said sorry. We Frenched. "What happened to Snipe?" I growled. "You will see." Draco giggled mistresslessly. He opened a door. Snap and Lumpkin was there. Sirius was pokering them by stabbing them with a black knife. "No, please," Lumpkin begged as Sirius started to suck his blood. I laughed statistically. I took some photons of him and Snap being tortured. Okay, I know this is mean, but think about it, people. They are pedos and Snap tried to rape them. Anyway, sadists rock. Has anyone seen Shrek Attack 3 LOLs? We took some of Snipe's blood, and then Draco and I went back to our rooms. We sat on my gothic black coffin. My clothes were kinda dirty, so I put on a black leather outfit thingy, kinda like Selene has in Underworld. If you haven't seen it, then fuck you. I put on some black platform high heels. Draco put on Desolation Livers by MCR. Then we started taking off each other's clothes. I took off his shirt, and he had a 6-pack lols. We started to make out like in The Grudge. He put got his wetness in my you-know-what sexily. I got an orgy. Oh, Draco. Oh my fucking god, Draco. I screamed passively as he got an eructation. I love you, Tabori, he whispered sexily, and then we fell asleep, lol. Chapter 34. Author's note, shut the fuck up, preps. Have you even read this story? You're probably all just preps and posers, so fuck you. Thanks to Raven for the help. I woke up into coffin the next day. Draco was gone. I got up and put on a black tight sexaw dress that was all ripped at the end. There was red corset stuff going up to front and to back, and it came up to my knees. There was a slit in the dress, like in Mr. and Mrs. Smith. I put on ripped black fishnets and black Stilton boots. Suddenly, Sorius cocked on the door. I opened it. Hi, Ebony, he said. Guess what I have? Come to Professor Sinister's office. Okay, I said in a depressed voice. I had wanted to fuck Draco, or maybe listen to MCR or Evanescence. I came anyway. So what the fuck happened to Snipe and Lupin? I asked Sirius flirtily. I fucking tortured them, he answered in a statistic way. They are in Azkaban now, lol. I laughed evilly. Where are Draco and Vampire? I muttered. They are excused from school today. Sodomize moaned sexily. Right now they are watching The Nightmare Before Christmas. We went into the office. Professor Sinister was there. She was wearing a gothic black dress that was all ripped all over, kinda like the one Emmy Lee wears in this pic. She was drinking some Volsamort serum. She took out a pensieve and a time turner. And Nobi, you will have to do another session now. Also, I need you to get me the cure for being addicted, she said sadly. Good luck, thanks. And then I jumped into the pensieve again. Suddenly, I looked around. I was in the Great Hall eating Count Chocula. It was morning. I was sitting next to Satan. On a table was a gothic man with long black hair, pale skin, and blue eyes, wearing a suit and black Converse shoes. He looked just like Marilyn Manson. I noticed he was drinking a portent. Who's he? I asked. Oh, that's Professor Slutborn, Satan said. He's the portent's teacher. Ebony? Yeah, I asked. Did you know that Marilyn Manson is playing at Hogsmeade tonight? And they're showing The Exorcist at the movies before that? Yeah, well, want to go to the concert and the movie with me? Chapter 35, Ghost of You. Author's note, thanks to Susie for the idea. You rock. Fuck you, preps. Thanks to Raven for the help. You rock, girl. P.S. I'm going to end the story really soon, so fuck you. Oh yeah, and if you know any gothic names, please tell me because I need one for Sirius. Thanks. I went into the common room thinking of Satan. Suddenly, I gasped. Draco was there? He looked as hot as ever, wearing black leather pants, black Linkin Park t-shirt, and black eyeliner. Draco, what the fuck are you doing? I gasped. Huh? He asked. Then I remembered. It wasn't Draco. It was Lucian. He still had 2 arms. Oh, hi, Lucian, I said. I'm Ebony, the new student. Lol, we shook hands. Yeah, Satan told me about you, Lucian said. He pointed to a group of sexy gothic guys. They were sitting in a corner cutting. It was Sirius, Vampire's dad. And Snap! All of them were wearing black eyeliner and black Good Charlotte band shirts. Listen, I'm in a goth band with those guys, he said. We are playing tonight at the Marilyn Manson show as backup. Oh, really? I asked. We're called X Black X Tier X. I played a guitar. Spartacus plays the drums, he said, pointing to him. Snap plays the boss. And James plays the guitar, even though we call him Samaro after Samara in The Ring. Hey bastards, I told them, and they gave me a death's touch sign. Suddenly, I gasped again. But you don't have a lead singer, I asked. Lucian looked down sadly. We used to, but she died. She committed suicide by slitting her wrists. Oh my fucking god, that's so fucking sad, I gasped. It's okay, but we need a new lead singer, Samaro said. Well, I said I'm in a band myself. Really? Asked Snap. I couldn't believe it. He used to be gothic? Yeah, we're called Bloody Gothic Rose 666. Do you want to hear me sing? Yeah, said everyone. So the guys took out their guitars. They began to play a song by, get it, 'cause bi guys are so sexa, Green Day. I walked this empty street on the boulevard of broken dreams. I sang sexily. I do not own the lyrics to that song. Everyone gasped. And Nubby, will you join the band, please? Begged Lucian, Samaro, Sirius, and Snap. Okay, I shrugged. Are we gonna play tonight? Yeah, they said. Okay, I said, but I knew that I had to get a new outfit. I walked outside, wondering how I could go forward in time. Suddenly, someone jumped in front of me. It was Morty McFly. He was wearing a black band t-shirt and black baggy jeans. What the hell are you doing here? I asked. I will help you go forward in time, Ebony, he said seriously. Then he took out a black time machine. I went into it, and suddenly I was forward in time. Chapter 36, author's note, I said stop flaming, okay? I bet you're all probably 70 years old. P.S. Posers, you're a prep. Oh yeah, and thanks to Raven for the help. Have fun in England, girl. I looked around in a depressed way. Suddenly, I saw Professor Sinister, Bloody Mary, Socrates, and Draco. Vampire and Willow were there too. OMFG Sirius, I saw you and Samaro and Snip and everyone. I can't believe Snap used to be gothic. Yeah, I know, Sirius said sadly. Oh, hey there, bitch, Professor Trivolry said in an emo voice, drinking some Voldemort serum. Hi, fucker, I said. Listen, Satan asked me out to a gothic concert and a movie, so I need a sexa new outfit for today. Also, I'm playing in a gothic band, so I need a new outfit for that too. Oh my Satan! Get it? Cause she's gothic? Gasped Bloody Mary. Want to go to Hot Topic to shop for your outfit? Oh, MFG, let's have a group cutting session, said Professor Trivolry. I can't fucking wait for that, but we need to get some stuff first, said Willow. Yeah, we need some potions for Professor Trivolry so she won't be addicted to Voldemort serum anymore. Also, some love potions for Anobi, Draco said resultantly. Well, we have potions class now, Willow said, so let's go. We went sexily to potions class, but Snap wasn't there. Instead, there was Cornelio, fuck! Hey, where the fuck is Dumbledore? Draco shouted angrily. Shut the fuck up! Shooted Cornelia fuck. He's in Azkaban now with Snip and Lupin. He's old and weak and he has cancer. Now do your work. My friends and I talked angrily. Can you believe Snap used to be gothic? Vampire asked surprisedly. That's it! Cornelio fuck shouted angrily. I'm getting Professor Bridge. He stomped out angrily. My friends and I began talking again. We began to drink some blood mixed with beer. Suddenly, I saw Hagrid in the cupboard. What the fuck is he doing? I asked. Then I looked at Draco. He was wearing tons of eyeliner and he looked sexier than ever. Suddenly, Hagrid, what the fuck are you doing? He shooted. I looked around. Hagrid was putting something in my glass of blood. Draco and Vampire started to beat him up sexily. God, you're such a poser, I shooted at Hagrid. Suddenly, I looked at what he was putting into blood. It was amnesia potion. Chapter 37, Author's Note. Okay, everybody, so I'm going on vacation on the 1st of July, so I'm either going to end the fic or update it in weeks. Thanks. Oh yeah, and prep stop flaming the story. Raven, thanks for the help. See you girl after vacation. Draco's point of view, lol. Vampire and I changed Hagrid to the floor. Oh my fucking Satan, Anobi said. She was so hot. Maybe I could use some amnesia potion to make Satan fall in love with me faster. But you are so sexy and wonderful anyway, Tara, said Vampire. Why would you need it? To make everything go faster, said Anobi. But you won't have to do it with him or anything, will you? I asked jealously. OMFG, you guys are so scary, said Brittany, a fucking prep. Shut the fuck up, said Willow. Okay, well let's go to Professor Trivolry's room. Draco, Ebony, and I went to Professor Sinister's room, but Professor Sinister wasn't there. Instead, Tom Ridd was. Oh, hi, fuckers, he said. Listen, I got some cool new clothes. I took out the clothes from the bag. It was a gothic black leather miniskirt that said 666 on the back, stiletto boots, blood red fishnets, and a black corset. OMG fangs, I said, hugging him in a gothic way. I took the clothes in the bag. Okay, Professor Sinister isn't here. What the fuck should we do? Asked Draco suddenly, as he looked at a sign on the black wall. Oh my fucking Satan! I screamed as I read it. It said, everyone, Professor Sinister is away. She is too gothic, and she is in Azkaban now. Classes shall be taught by Dumbledore, who is back, but he shall not be principal for now. Sincerely, Professor Rumbridge. OMFG! I shouted angrily. How could they do that? Suddenly, Dumbledore came in. What the hell are you doing in my office? He began to shoot angrily. Suddenly, I saw Marty McFly's black time machine. I jumped seductively into it, leaving Draco and Vampire. Suddenly, I was back in time. I looked around. It was Professor Slutborn's Ephes. I sneaked around. Suddenly, I saw the amnesia potion on his desk. It was black with blood red pentagrams in it. It was the shape of a cross. I put it in my pocket. Suddenly, the door opened. It was Professor Slutgorn. OMG, what the fuck are you doing? He shouted angrily. I don't know, what the fuck are you doing? I shouted angrily. Oh, sorry, I was just looking around because I thought it was class. You said, finally hoping he couldn't see the potion in your pocket? Oh, okay, you can go now, said Professor Slutborn. You went to the common room after putting on the clothes. Silas, Samaro, and Snap were there practicing Vampires Will Never Hurt You by MCR. Oh, hi, you guys, I said seductively. Where's Satan? Oh, he's coming, said Sirius. By the way, you can call me Hades now. Suddenly, Satan came. He was wearing a smexy black leather jacket, black Converse shoes, and a Slipknot t-shirt and a black tie. Okay, I'll see you guys at the concert, I said, and then I went with Satan. Chapter 38, Author's Note. What does everyone think? I end the story, and then I add some more to it after vacation. Oh yeah, and prep stop flaming. If you do not like the story, then take my quiz, and then you will see if you're gothic or not. Satan and I walked to his car. It was a black car with pentagrams all over it. On the license plate said 666, just like Draco's car. I went into it, seductively. Satan started to drive. We talked about Satanism. Lols, he was named after Satan. Cutting, music, and being gothic. Oh my Satan, Gerard is so fucking hot. Voldemort agreed as we smoked some weed. Cause bi guys are so hot, they are so sensitive. I love them, lol. Those fucks a bi guy. Lol, I totally decided not to commit suicide when I heard Helena. I said in a flirty voice, "Hey Satan, do you know the cure for when people are addicted to Voldemort's serum?" Well, he thought, I think you have to drink vampire blood. Suddenly, Voldemort parked the car behind a black movie theater. Satan and I walked out. We went into the movie together, where they were showing The Exorcist. In it, a boy and a girl were doing it. Suddenly a serial killer came, lol. Satan and I laughed at the blood, because we were sadists. While Satan was watching the movie, I had an idea. I took Satan's Gothic Black Nightmare Before Christmas cigar sexily from his pocket and put some amnesia potion in it. I put it back in his black Emily the Strange bag. Satan turned around and started to smoke it. Black clouds with red pentagrams in him started to fly around everywhere. OMG, Satan said, jumping up. I gasped, because I was afraid he'd noticed. Enemy, guess what? I knew that the amnesia had worked. Amnesia potion has not been invented yet, so it will not work, he said. Too bad, because I wanted to use some on you. Cool. I raised my eyes suggestingly, and then he took off my clothes, sexily, and we started to make out. I took off his shirt. He had a six-pack, just like Gerard Way. We Frenched. "Excuse me, but you are going to have to leave," shouted a lady behind us. She was a prep. "Fuck you," I said. Suddenly, I attacked her, sucking all of her blood. "No," she screamed. All the preps in the theater screamed, but everyone else clapped because Satan and I looked so cute together. Satan and I started to walk outside. "OMG, how did you do that?" Voldemort asked in a turned-on voice. "I'm a vampire," I said as we went into the car. "Seriously?" he gasped. "Yeah, seriously," I said, drinking some beer. Satan started to drive the car. I smelled happily. "It's too bad we didn't get to see the rest of the movie, don't you think?" "Yeah," I said as we kissed passively. Satan parked in the black driveway next to the place where Draco and I had watched Good Charlotte for the first time. We went inside where Marilyn Manson was playing and started to mosh, lol. "Anti-people, now you've gone too far. Jesus Christ superstar," screamed Marilyn Manson on the stage. We did the devil fingers. I started to dance really close to Satan. He was so smexa. He looked at me all emo with his gothic red eyes, and he looked exactly like Mikey Way. Suddenly, Marilyn Manson stopped singing. "I would like to present X Black X Tier X," he said. I ran on stage. Lucian, Samaro, Snap, and Hades were there. They started to play their instruments. I got on stage. "Well, if you wanted honesty, that's all you have to say," I sang. I do not own the lyrics to that song. My voice sounded like a pentagram between Amy Lee and a girl version of Gerard Way. Everyone clapped. Satan got an erucation. "I'm not okay," I sang finally. Suddenly, Lucian started to play the song wrong by mistake. "OMFG, I yielded at James. "What the fuck?" "Whoops, I'm sorry," said Lucian. "You fucking asshole," James shouted angrily. "You guys are such preps," Snap said. "Come on, it was a mistake." "Yeah, it's not his fault," said Sirius. "No, he ruined the fucking song," yelled Samaro. "You guys stop," I shouted angrily, but it was too late. They all began to fight. Suddenly, Samaro took out his knife. "OMFG, no," shouted Lucian, but it was too late. James tried to shoot off his arm. And then I jumped sexily in front of the bullet. "No," yielded everyone, but it was too late. Suddenly, everything went black. Chapter 39. I am a trolling genius, lols. Disclaimer, I do not own the Harry Potter series, and I am not the real XXX Bloody Wrist 666XXX. Author's note, I am an extremely immature, pathetic, idiot girl, I know. Out of boredom, I cracked this girl's passy for fun, and it took less than 8 minutes to do it, and will probably get in a shitload of trouble, which I probably deserve because I'm being a troll right now. Meh. And I present to you my crappy part of this story. And take note, I haven't even finished reading this fic yet, but instead skipped over to skim chapter 38, flame laugh, do whatever you want, preps. I, the American retail-wearing British vampire Sue, coughed up blood. Satan kneeled down beside me. "No, don't die!" I gave him a rueful smile. "I'm sorry, it's something I had to do to fulfill my duty as the noble Gothic Mary Sue." Satan sobbed. "I love you, Ebony. I love you too. I'll see you in hell," I mumbled, already finding my surroundings fading to black. Bloody Mary Smith suddenly popped up into the room for no apparent reason. She frowned when she realized the room was oddly quiet, but at the sight of Ebony's lifeless body, she screamed. Her face became pale with horror. She screamed for the healers, Dumbledore, McGoogle, and every single Gothic person she could think of. Suddenly, a glow started to surround the body of Ebony. Everyone stared in shock. Her body started to lift ever so slowly, and then, to everyone's shock, it started to incinerate. When everyone realized what was happening, they rushed over to try and rescue the body, but it was too late. The Sue became nothing more than a pile of ashes. A loud resounding of everyone bellowing, "No!" filled the room. A flash of white light from the ashes then started to bounce around the room. Everyone cowered in fear and were temporarily blinded. When it was all over, things changed. all the silly goth clothes dropped from everyone's bodies. Author's note, I will refuse to explain how the hell that happened. And in their place, clothes the characters would normally wear in canon appeared on their bodies. When everyone got over the shock of becoming free of the gothic power, everyone cheered. Everyone started singing, Ding Dong, the Sioux is dead. Well, that is, until the Harry Potter characters realized the true implications of becoming more canon-like again. All the characters who were supposed to be dead fell to the floor, their bodies cold and lifeless. Harry and Voldemort started dueling. On the left of the two, the battle of the light side and the dark side were reaching a climax. And because the replacement author also likes to screw around with canon, Draco and Hermione fled the scene and got married. Meanwhile, down in hell, Ebony shed a single tear because of her current situation. A situation that would live on for all eternity, or at least until the end of fanfiction time. She lost it all, but she knew she had to remain strong. Nothing would ever break her down. She looked down over her pale body and frowned. Where are my emo clothes? She asked herself in confusion, and then it occurred to her. For her shirt, she was wearing a bright pink polo with a little seagull on the right. Right or left? I can't remember. Below that, she was wearing a denim miniskirt with the destroyed look on it. Paired underneath that skirt were leggings with a little moose on the bottom. And then Ebony realized, on her shoulder she was carrying a pretty bag with an eagle on it that said, Live your life, written all over the bag. Ebony suppressed the urge to scream. She was decked out in clothes, prepped to the extreme, wearing stuff from Abercrombie & Fitch, American Eagle, and Hollister. Panicked, Ebony hastily tried to take off the Hollister polo, but underneath it was another Hollister polo underneath. Ebony frowned and looked at the shirt. All she saw was a bra underneath. Dare I point out, it's from Aerie, the line available from American Eagle. Ebony tried to remove the shirt again, but to her frustration, there was yet again another polo to replace it. This is unlogical and does not make any sense! Ebony bellowed out into the air. She failed to see the irony in her statement. How hypocritical her words were, seeing as she was practically calling the kettle black here. Ebony slit her wrists and mumbled to herself, Oh my god. End crap fic. Author's note, oh yeah, if you want to see the original content this chick had planned for this chapter, I accessed it through the document manager thingy, which I copied and pasted, so you can read it here. Chapter 40. LOL, someone has taken over my account? The idiot's note, well, this was in the dock area, might as well let the whole world see what the real Tara wanted to show us. Have a nice day. Author's note, shut the fuck up, Preps, get a life. You suck. Oh, and from now on, I'll be on vacation in England until, like, August, so I won't be able to update for a while, lols. Thanks to everyone who reviewed, except for the Preps who flamed, fuck you, MCR rocks, 666. I woke up in Norse's office on a special gothic coffin. Hagrid was in bed opposite me in a coma, because Vampire and Draco had beat him up. Mr. Norris was cleaning the room. Oh my Satan, what happened? I screamed. Suddenly, Voldemort came in. He looked less mean than usual. Get the fuck out, you fucking bastard, I yielded. Thou hast not killed Vampire yet, he said angrily. Suddenly, he started to cry tears of blood, all selective. Voldemort? OMFG, what's wrong? I asked. Suddenly, Lucian, Professor Sinister, and Sirius came. Bloody Mary and Vampire were with them. Everyone was holding black boxes. Voldemort disappeared! OMFG, Ebony, you're alive, screamed Vampire. I hugged him and Bloody Mary. What the fuck happened? I asked them. Oh my Satan, am I like dead now? I gasped. Ebony, you were almost shot, said Sirius, but a bullet could not kill you since you were from another time. But thanks anyway, said Lucian, holding out his arm. I gasped. He had 2 arms! OMG, I can't believe Vampire's dad shot you, I gasped. Well, to be honest, Snape was possessed by Snape back then, said James. Yeah, he was a spy, said Sirius sadly. He was really a death dealer. And he was such a fucking poser, said Lucian. He didn't even really know who Good Charlotte were until I told him. Well, anyway, everyone started to give me presents. I was opening a black box with red 666s. There was DVDs of Corpse Bride in it. When I gasped, Mr. Norris looked up angrily, because he hated goths. Hey, has anyone fucking seen Draco? I asked gothically. No, Draco told me he would be watching Hose of Wax, said Professor Trevolry. He doesn't know that you're better. Anyway, Denore said you could get up. Come on. I got up, suicidally. Lucian, Sirius, and Professor Sinister left. I was wearing a black leather night gun. Under that, I had on a sexy black leather bra, trimmed with black lace, with a matching thong that said Gothic Girl on the butt, and sexy fishnets that kind of hooked onto my thong. If you don't get the idea, message me, I'll tell you. I put on a black fishnet top under a black MCR t-shirt, a black leather mini with black lace and Converse shoes. I left the hospital's wing with Bloody Mary, Willow, and Vampire. OMFG, let's celebrate, gasped Willow. We can go see Hose of Wax with Draco, giggled Vampire. Let's go listen to Good Charlotte and cut ourselves 666, said Hermione. We opened a common room door sexily. And then I gasped. Draco was there doing it with Snape. He was wearing a black t-shirt with 666 on the front and baggy jeans. You fucking prep! We all yielded angrily. Yeah, you betrayed us, shouted Vampire angrily, and he took out his black gun. No, you don't understand, screamed Draco sadly, as he took his thingy out of Snake's. No shit, you fucking suck, you preppy bastard, said Willow, trying to attack him. You rock, girl. I ran suicidally to my room. I sexily took a stake out. And no, screamed Draco, but it was too late. I had slit my wrists with it, and suddenly everything went black again. Idiot's note. Ugh, I know, terrible. But then again, this wouldn't be called the worst fanfic ever if not for the fact that the writing standards meet the level of a day-old fetus. Sincerely, an anon author who will silently not reveal her identity because she's a coward, aka just a troll with rocks for brains. Chapter 41. Author's note to everyone who keeps flaming this, get a life. I bet you probably don't know who Gerard Way is. You're probably all preps and posers. Anyway, someone hacked into my account in November, and they put up my last chapter, but now there is a new one? I'm sorry for not updating for a while, but I've been really busy. I'm trying to finish the story before the new movie comes out. I'm going on vacation for a month. I won't be back until about 2 weeks. OMFG, Draco is so hot in all the pics for the new movie. I wanted them to put a cameo by Gerard Way, lol. He should play Draco. If you flame, I'll slit my wrists. Raven, you rock, girl. Have fun in England. When I woke up, I was in a strange room. I looked around. I was wearing the same outfit I had when I performed with X Black X Tier X. I looked around confusedly. I was in the nurse's office, but it looked different. On the wall was a pic of Marilyn Manson. Just imagine he's in an 80s gothic band, okay? Cause he is more old than Panic at the Disco or MCR. There was also a gothic black Beatles calendar with a picture of the Beatles wearing eyeliner and black clothes. It said 1980. OMFG, I'm back in time again, I screamed loudly. Suddenly Satan, this is actually Voldemort for photo reference. Voldemort was wearing a black leather jacket, black tight jeans, and black fishnet pants. He looked so sexa, I almost got an orgy. OMFG, Enobi, are you okay? He asked gothically. Yeah, I'm okay for your information, I snapped sexily. OMG, am I dead? Because I remembered I had jumped in front of the bullet from James's gun. I also remembered seeing Draco doing it with Snape. I guess that was when I had slit my wrists. I had went back in time instead of dying. I know I could go forward in time if I found a time turner or the time machine. You're not dead, Satan reassured suicidally as he smoked a cigarette sexily and smoke came all over his face. You're a vampire, so you can't die from a bullet. Come on, now let's go see how Harry's dad is doing. I know that the real reason I didn't die from the bullet was because I was from the future. What the fuck? James almost shot Lucius. I said indigoally? I knew that James had really been possessed, but I didn't want him to know I knew. Yeah, I know, but he had a headache. He was under a lot of stress, Satan reasoned evilly. I guess that's okay, I said, because James hadn't really shot Lucian. Also, I know that Lucian would now have 2 arms instead of 1. I walked seductively outside with Satan. Suddenly, I saw a totally sexy gothic bi guy. He had bleached blonde hair with black streaks up to his ears, and he was wearing a gothic black eyeliner, a black Green Day shirt. It showed Billy Joel with blonde hair since it was the 80s. Black Converse shoes and black baggy pants. He walked in all sexily like Gerard Way in the video for I Don't Like I Did Yesterday, and you could see a black tear on his face like the woman in that video. Hey, he said all quietly and gothically. Who the fuck is that? I asked angrily because I didn't know him. This is Hedwig. He used to be an X-Black X-Tier X2, but he had to drop out because he broke his arm. Hey, Hedwig, I said seductively, even though I wasn't trying to be. Lol, hi, Enobi, he answered, but then he ran away because he had hair of magical creature. He was humming Welcome to the Black Parade under his breath. I know that's not 80s, but pretend, okay? Bye, I said all sexily. That was Hedwig. He used to be my boyfriend, but we broke up, Satan said sadly, looking at his black nails. OMFG, I can get you back together, I said, fingering something I didn't know was in my pocket. A black coot is what we aim for video iPod that I could take videos with? Does anyone else know about them? They kick ass. Okay, you can forget about your class for now, Hedwig. I'm going to show you something great. I led them to the Great Hall. Come on, guys. Lucian, James, Sirius, and Snake were all in the Great Hall. Lucian wouldn't talk with James because he had tried to shoot him. Go fuck yourself, you fucking douche, he shouted at him. Draco is never going to be friends with Vampire now. Yeah, go fuck yourself, Samaro, Snape agreed. But I know he was lying because it had been his fault James had almost shot Lucian. Be quiet, you guys, I said sexily. My plan was working out great. Now I could make Voldemort good without doing it with him. Now Voldemort's dad would never die. And, okay, Satan and Hedwig, you guys can start making out. I said, and I started to film them with the iPod. Cool, said Sirius, as Voldemort and Hedwig started to make out sexily. We watched as they started to take off each other's clothes, all sexily. Samaro, Sirius, Snake, and Lucian all watched, because they were probably bi. I know Snape was bi. Oh my fucking god. Voldemort, Voldemort, screamed Hedwig, as his Glock touched Voldemort's. But suddenly everything stopped as the door opened and in came Dumbledore and Mr. Norris. Chapter 42, The Black Parade. Author's note, OMG, the new book is coming out really soon. I can't wait. I think that Snape will be really the same person as Voldemort, because they are both half-blood, so that will explain why he killed Dumbledore and he hated Harry. And then Harry will have to commit suicide, so Voldemort will die, because he will really be a Horcrux. OMG, I hope Draco and Harry get together. That will be so smexow, won't it? If they don't, then JKR is homophobic. An icon ahead of her time. Thanks for the help with facts. Medusa, you rock. I sat depressedly in Dumbledore's office with Hedwig, Satan, James, Sirius, Snap, and Lucian. Dumbledore was sitting in front of us cruelly. He looked more young then than he did in the future. He had taken the iPod away and was now listening to a shitty Avril Lavigne song. What the hell is this anyway? He cackled meanly. I hoped he didn't find out that I was from another time. Whatever you do, don't blame Ebony, you jerk, Satan said. Yeah, seriously, she was trying to get Satan and Hedwig back together, Sirius said deviantly. Be quiet, you Satanists, Dumbledore cockled. If you're lucky, I'll probably send you all to Azkaban. That will teach you to copulate in the Great Hall. He changed the song on the iPod to an NSYNC song. Suddenly I noticed something strong about the iPod. It was slowly changing. Dumbledore didn't notice. You fucking poser, I muttoned. I bet you've never heard of Good Charlotte, James said. I knew what the iPod was changing to. Marty McFly's time machine. Shut up, Jones, Drake's dad shouted. Yeah, shut up, Snake said preppily. No, you shut up, Dumbledore, said Tom. I've had enough of you Satanists in my school, shouted Dumbledore spuriously. Suddenly, I grabbed the iPod from him. Everyone jump in, before it's too late. I jumped in, but only one other person jumped in. It was Satan. You dunderheads, screamed Dumbledore wisely as we went. I looked around. I was in the Slytherin common room with Satan. I was wearing a black plaid miniskirt with hot pink fishnets, a sexy black MCR corset, and black stiletto boots with pentagrams on them. My earrings were black Satanist signs, and my raven hair was all around me to my mid-back. Hey, cool, where is this? He asked in an emo voice. This is the future. Dumbledore's iPod that he tried to take away from me was really also a time machine, I told him. Cool, what's an eye patch? He whimpered. It's something you use to listen to music. I yacked. OMFG cool. Wait, what's a 4-letter word for dirt? He asked in a sexa voice. I guess sand? I laid confusedly. Yeah, I was just trying to make sure you were still the same person. He triumphantly giggled. Suddenly, some of my friends walked in. OMG, you're fucking alive, said Ginny, wearing a black leather jacket, black baggy pants, and a gothic black from first to last shirt. I explained to her why I was alive. Konnichiwa, bitch, said Willow. She was wearing a black corset, showing off her boobs, with lace all around it and red stripes on it. With it, she was wearing a black leather miniskirt, black boots, white foundation, black eyeliner, red eyeshadow, and black lipstick. Hey, motherfucker, said Diablo with his red hair. He was wearing a black Panic at the Disco shirt and black baggy pants. Hey, who's that, Ebony? Bloody Mary questioned as she walked in, wearing a black t-shirt with a red pentagram on it with lace at the bottom, red leather pants with black lace, and black stilettos. Oh, it's Satan, I told her, and she nodded, knowing the truth. Suddenly, Satan started to cry. Are you okay, Satan? We asked concernedly. OMFG, you're from the future? What if you don't like me anymore because we're from different times, he asked. No, I still like you, I said sexily to him. Okay, he said reassuredly. I let him listen to Teenagers by MCR on my iPod while I was about to go outside to find some things. I gave Diablo a signal to keep Satan occupied. Satan fell asleep. I took the iPod. I was about to walk outside. Professor Sinister ran in. She was wearing a gothic black mini dress with depressing black stripes, white and black striped tights, red Converse shoes. She was wearing lots of black eyeliner. Oh my fucking god, where's Draco? How did Snape get back here? I thought he was in Azerbaijan, I asked sadly. Ebony, I was so worried about you, but I know you can't fucking die because you're a vampire. Snape came back because that girl Brittany freed him. I never liked her. She was a bad student, Trivolry said reassuredly. That bitch! Did she also free Hagrid and Lupin? I shouted angrily. I hated Brittany because she was a fucking prep. Yes, they are all on the loose at this school. Dumbledore is back. Cornelia is on his way to help everyone. Tell everyone you see to lock themselves in their common room, Trivolry said worriedly. Okay, but where's Draco? How come he was doing it with Snape? I don't know why, but I know he almost tried to commit suicide after he saw you almost killed yourself, she said. OMG, that's terrible, I gasped. Satan was still asleep, so he couldn't tell what was going on. Then I said, listen everyone, I have something important to do. In here, everyone stay. With that, I ran out. Good luck, Tara, everyone cried. I ran sexily down the stairs into the great hall, while the portraits around looked at me scaredly. There was hardly anyone else in the stairs because there was an atmosphere of horror. On the way, I saw Brittany laughing on the stairs. She was wearing a slutty pink shirt with flowers on it, a blue jean skirt, Abercrombie, and pink stilettos. She looked just like a pentagram of those fucking preps Hilary Duff and Lindsay Lohan. You fucking bitch, I shouted angrily. No, you're totally a bitch. Now Voldemort will, totally kill you, she laughed. Crucius, I shouted selectively, pontificating my black wand, and she started screaming because she was being tortured, and I laughed sadistically. No, help me, please, Brittany screamed terrifiedly. I put up my middle finger at her, and in her hand I saw the video camera Snape and Lumpkin had used to take the video of me. I put the tape of Voldemort doing it with Hedwig into it. Then I continued to round down the stairs with the camera. When I had reached the Great Hall, I saw Vampire Potter. OMG Vampire, I yielded. We hugged each other happily. He looked at me with his gothic red eyes and spiky black hair. Around them were black eyeliner and eyeshadow. He was wearing a black leather jacket, leather pants, a Panic at the Disco concert shirt, and his black Converse shoes. He looked more like Joel from Good Charlotte than ever. Did you hear the new song? It rocks. I was worried you died, moaned Vampire. I know, but I'm a vampire, lol. When I woke up, I was back in 1980, so anyway, I brought Voldemort from when he was young with me. Where's Draco? I asked spuriously. Draco? You mean that fucking poser who betrayed you? Vampire snarked with anger in his sexy voice. I know, but we have to find him, I said smartly. I'll do it then, Harry said angstily. Okay, I agreed. Suddenly, all the lights in the room went out, and then the dark mark appeared. Oh my fucking Satan, Harry shouted. I think Voldemort has arrived, I said anxiously. Fuck, I have to find Draco. I guess we should separate. Okay, Vampire said, disappearing. Sadly, I ran into the Great Hall. Chapter 43. Author's note, I think after this I will have about 2 or 3 more chapters. Thanks to all my reviewers, that's not flamers. If you flame this story, then you suck. If you flame, then fuck you. I walked sexily into the Great Hall. It was empty except for one person. Draco was there. He sat there in deadly bloom in his black 666 shirt and his baggy black pants. He had slit his wrists. I felt mad at him for having sex with Snape, but I felt sorry for him. He looked just like Gerard Way, with his red eyes and pale white face. Draco, are you okay? I asked. I'm not okay, he screamed depressedly. I thought of the MCR song and got even more depressed, because that song always makes me cry. I gave him a pot cigarette, and he started to smoke it. Oh, Draco, why did you do it with that fucking bastard Snape? I asked tearfully. Draco began to say, but suddenly Lumpkin and Mr. Norris appeared into the room. They didn't see us. I'm so glad me and Snape were freed, said Lupin. Damn, this job would be great if it wasn't for the fucking students, Mr. Norris agreed. Hop Fidelum, I yelled angrily, pointing my wand at them. No, Lumpkin shouted as chains came on him. Mr. Norris ran away. You fucking perv, I said, laughing with depths of evil and depressedness in my voice. Now you have to tell us where Voldemort is or I'm going to torture you. I don't know where he is, said Lupin. Suddenly, Satan and Vampire ran into the room. Vampire didn't know who Satan really was. My Satan, we were so worried about you guys, Vampire said. I looked sexily at Draco, with his gothic red eyes, with contacts, black t-shirt that said 666 on it, and pale skin like Gerard Way. Vampire with his sexy black hair and red eyes like Frankie Arrow, and Satan, who looked just like Brent and Yuri then. I selectively took the camera from my pocket, and then I began Frenching Draco sexily. Lupin gasped. Draco began to take off all of his clothes, and I could see his white six-pack. Then Vampire took off his clothes too. We all began making out together sexily. I took off my black leather bra, my black lace thong, and the rest of my clothes. Everyone took their Glocks out, except for me, I'm a girl, lol. Oh my Satan, Draco, I screamed as he put his hardness in my thingy. Then he did the same thing to Harry. I began making out with Satan, and he joined in. OMG, cried Vampire. Oh, Vampire, Vampire, I screamed. Oh, Satan, yelled Harry in pleasure. Lupin watched in shock. We took turns doing torture curses on him, because we were all sadists. Suddenly, a big black car that said 666 on the license plate flew straight through the windows, and Snape was in it. Chapter 44. Well, I have nothing to say, but everyone stop flaming, okay? If any gothic people are reading this, then you rock. OMG, I can't wait for the movie. Tom Felton is so hot, lol. I hope Harry will become gothic, because my friend told me he's really emo in this book. OMFG, I'm leaving W pretty soon. Can't wait. This will probably be the last chapter until I come back. That's my car, shouted Draco angrily, but suddenly it was revealed who was in the car. It was Snape. I shall free you, Lupin, but first you must help me kill these idiotic dunderheads, he said cruelly from the car as it flew in circumcising above us. Ebony darkness dementia Ravenaway must be killed, then the Dark Lord shall never die. You fucking prep, yelled Draco. Then he looked at me sadly. I forgot to tell you, Ebony, Snape made me do it with him. I didn't really have sex with him, but he's a rapist. We all put our clothes on quickly, except Satan. We were so scared, but Satan didn't change. Instead, he changed into a man with green eyes and no nose and a gray robe and white skin. He had changed into Voldemort. I knew who thou were all along, he cackled evilly and sarcastically at me. Now I shall kill thee all. Thunder came into the room. No, please don't kill us, pleaded Vampire. Suddenly Willow, Bloody Mary, Diablo, Ginny, Dracula, Fred and George, Hagrid, McGonagall, Dumbledore, Sirius, and Lucian all ran in. What is the meaning of this? Dumbledore asked, all angrily, and Voldemort looked away, because Dumbledore's the only wizard he's scared of. He did a spell, and suddenly his broomstick came to him sexually. Voldemort flew above the roof, evilly on his broomstick. Oh my goth, Slugborn gasped. Get it? 'Cause I'm gothic. The Dark Lord shall kill all of you, then you must submit to him, Snape ejaculated menacingly. You fucking preppy F-slurs, Sirius shouted angrily. I know a 4-letter word for dirt. Cruciatus, screamed Harry, but the sparks from his wand only hit Draco's car. It fell down. Snap quickly crawled out of it and picked up the video camera. Oh my fucking god, I cried because the video of me in the bathroom, the video of me doing it with Draco, and the video of Satan doing it with Hedwig. If you kill me, then these videos will be shown to everyone in the skull. Then you can be just like that gothic girl Paris Hilton. He laughed meanly. No, I screamed. FYI, I have the picture of you doing it with Lupin. What is she talking about? Lupin slurped as he sat in his chains. I saw too. She's gonna show everyone the picture, Harry shouted angrily. Shut up! Lumpkin roared. Foolish ignoramuses, yielded Voldemort from his broomstick. Thou shalt all die soon. Think again, you fucking muggle poser, Harry yelled, and then he and Diablo and Navel both took out black guns, but Voldemort took out his own one. You guys are in a Latin standoff, I shouted despairingly. Accio Neville's wand, cried Voldemort, and suddenly Neville's wind was in his hand. Now I shall kill thee, and Ebony will die. He made lightning come all over the place. Save us, Ebony, Dumbledore cried. I cried sexily. I just wanted to go to the common room and slit my wrists with my friends while we watched Shark Attack 3 and Saw 2 and do it with Draco, but I knew I had to do something more impotent. Abracadabra! I shooted! And then she never remembered to update. I don't know if My Immortal ending unfinished is made better or worse by the fact that we're missing maybe 1 or 2 chapters, but that is it as we have it. The entirety of My Immortal. Thank you so much for making it all the way to the end with me. Thank you so much for 1 million subscribers. That's literally insane. I never planned to be a YouTuber. This is such a weird job, but it's given me such fun experiences. I don't like to get sappy and parasocial with you guys very often, but genuinely, thank you so much for making this possible because I love it. Now fuck off, you preps.